unconscious
What?
lady to interrogate.
Yep. Yes. I've got to get black bagged.
Yeah, speaking of Betty White,
Wait a minute.
she's a stone cold killer.
Oh, that's right.
I should have filmed that.
Well, we're recording, so
Are we?
I am now.
Hello.
Hello, Internet.
I figured Betty White being a stone cold killer was a good segue. And then you're like, I gotta interrogate some woman, or black bagger. I was like,
have to be black bagged.
yeah.
Yeah, you're the one who's gonna get
Well,
Then
you
it's
have
daily like
Blackish to
re-education
get
again.
you
Right.
have somebody in your custody right now.
Right?
Yes, we do.
Right. We were gonna see if we could get any useful
That
information. out of
was
We also got the barman.
Did we?
We
he-
decided to hire the barman as a Jose since we
Well-
destroyed the business he was working at.
You discussed it.
Yeah.
We gave him our card.
Oh, I said. I
Yeah.
guess we said we decide, but it didn't mean
Yes.
he agreed.
He has not agreed.
That gentleman fucked off,
Agreed.
but you discussed this because you're like, oh, he's probably gonna get fired. So
Yeah, we're like,
we
if he gets fired, there is going to be some openings here in town very shortly with
Yep,
Mendez
yep,
and
yep.
Mendez and Mendez.
Okay, so what did we do with her when we brought her back then?
Well, Jimena was
We
the
put
one.
her in the ground. Just her head sticking out like a shrub.
No.
No?
Jimena's the
easily
one
enough
that
done.
Doc would duck her.
Yeah.
Yeah, this happened. You caused a ruckus at a gaming and alcohol establishment.
It
That,
shittiest-
turned into
One of the shittiest vested Dave and Buster's.
yeah,
God, it was bad.
yes, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was offensive.
More like Dane and Bruner.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Brock killed a guy.
Yep.
Or the trident. Dog, get your hot breath away from me. Go away. No one likes you.
Yeah.
Well, I petted her for a while, and now I refuse to give her attention.
You
so.
looked a man in the eye and told you lied to a man.
I did not.
Oh no, they told you that no, I guess it was close enough, but in your heart you know you lied.
Didn't lie.
Yeah.
There was no lying. And then, after I was cruel, I was kind. So I have not broken any of
No.
my,
It's
my
just,
things.
it's just wearing the dress and
Yes.
and acting like you're
Obedient.
you're making you're not really lying.
Yeah.
You're just not telling the truth, which is it's just slightly
It's
uncomfortable.
really skimming the line.
It's just slightly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So now you have somebody to interrogate. You've planted some seeds of dissent. You've killed a couple extra Winter Sun representatives who were off duty, but both of them died. One of them died after being terrorized by bees. The other died after hitting every piece of furniture with his head ever.
Oops.
And yeah, Evine has received word that the Invisible College is requesting to meet. So, with that, you left the premises after the fire basically consumed the establishment and people came to put it out. And there were a lot of questions of what happened, but by that time you were no longer there.
Oops.
So now you're back at your house with a still unconscious lady.
Can I read her now?
You can.
Wait, I wonder if they all read the same, which is gonna creep me the fuck out.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because she's another Judy.
Yeah. You didn't read them when
I'm pretty sure I tried to. Oh, wait, no. I just read the room.
All
with
right,
it.
this person isn't one of the sons. This is one of the Judys.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because we killed the other one.
Although they're not really Judys. They're like, but yeah, no, yeah.
This is just what we're calling them
Yeah.
now.
Oh no, they're one of the hand.
They're
The
more or
secret,
less
the secret police.
they're handlers. Yeah, like you're not exactly sure what their role is. The only other one you've met was the one at the cafe, who's clearly sort of watching the proceedings.
And just being way too cheerful.
Yeah, and
That's kind of their MO is like, everything's fine.
It's very Stepford.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
No, it's
Extremely.
our city's great.
Nothing bad happens here.
Nope, no.
Except everything.
Nothing bad ever
So
happens.
yeah, you're now back at the
Leeso.
house. You have a prisoner. You kept the uniforms because
Everything is horrible.
except Genia. Genia
Yeah, mine is
got rid of hers.
DOA.
Yeah, you feel much better. Weirdly enough, you're still, you're out of the dress. And
At least I'm in pants.
Yeah, and not having the uniform, like you feel so much freer. You still don't know how anybody fights in this kind of finery because it felt like it weighed a ton.
This is too much. It's not needed.
Popping this open. Okay. So yeah, you're back home. What do you want to do with your prisoner?
Other than reader.
She's
Oh, Jimena
she's
has
still out.
plans.
Yeah.
Did we tie her up?
Oh yeah, Jimena has her tied up.
You want to read her? What do you want to do with her, Jimena?
Jimena is going to do a couple things. She's going to, well, hopefully, assuming, she's going to wake her up with one vial, well, smelling salts basically, and then give her another one that's not truth serum, but just makes her highly suggestible.
Okay.
Assuming it works the way she wants it to. And then, I don't know if she has like a, I don't know if there would be one of these in the house, but the kind of lanterns that they used to have where it was like a metal, a piece of metal behind the candle so it
Right.
would help amplify the light.
Yeah.
She's
yeah.
got one of those.
Oh, there you go. It's a police investigation style.
Nice.
Perfect. Okay. I'm going to do a roll here in a second.
Do you want me there? I can.
I mean, if you want to be there, you can be there.
I
Anybody
won't
can be,
do anything.
Anybody
but
can be here if they want to.
I'll just read her to make sure she's telling the truth.
I think I'm burying bodies. Yeah. Disposing.
Did you bring any of the bodies back with you?
No.
Oh no.
I thought we did.
No, we-
We did the Winter Sons that we killed for their uniforms.
Yeah.
We brought back, but not any of these ones.
Oh, right. Yeah, they died in the fire.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Part
Or
of
they're
the
just
fire
ashes
was-
now.
Yeah.
The fire was to cover evidence. Although,
It never actually worked.
yeah, it never actually
Yeah.
covers all the evidence. People are too reliant upon.
They can tell because you can tell if there's accelerants happening. You can tell based on what's left behind, where the fire started.
Also, the fire
And
needs
teeth.
to be like
Well,
bones and teeth require an incredible amount of heat, concentrated heat.
admittedly, this is 1668 investigation at this point, so it's more like it looks like this person was stabbed. There's blood and stab wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Good enough.
Could have been anyone. Cool, thanks.
Yep. Anyone wielding a knife could have done this. Alright, so you're trying to get a read. Her virtue is the road. Friendly. Her hubris
Oh, like me.
is the war. Loyal.
Also like me?
It's just you.
Like, is it?
Oh man, the context makes all the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
You're right. Her name is Judy, and she tells them about the Dai
No, I'm the hanged man loyal.
You're the hangman.
Yeah. It's still loyal, but yeah.
Yeah, because originally there's Judy, and then they get Julie.
Oh, Julie's the one we like. Got it. Right.
Yeah.
Because they're like, what happened to Judy? She's like, I'm Julie.
Yep. Yeah, the different lady.
Nothing weird happened.
Everything is fine.
What's her name?
What are you talking about?
In Korra.
You're thinking
Oh.
of Julie. Yeah.
No, I haven't gone far enough ahead. We're not in Korra. We're still just in Avatar.
Okay, well,
I don't remember anything from Korra. 'Cause
there's
I
a
didn't
there's
like
a
it as
Jew
much.
something.
Yeah, it's Julie.
It is a Julie as well. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's Judy in.
Well, because there's Judy and Julie when they're in Bossing Say in
Right.
Avatar, because
Yeah.
one replaces the other and acts like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because Dai Li, yeah.
Yeah, because there is no war in Bossing.
That's right.
We're all gonna get taken to Lake Lao guy.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that what we want? We want to be taken to look
does.
No, I gotta go break Jet out, and then maybe he's dead. We never have been.
Right.
That's never been confirmed.
Yeah.
What? Don't shake your head at me.
Shake my head at everybody.
I'm sure that fanfic writers have decided something. Why can't I find any of these? I'm feeling like I might have to change her hubris. Because if she's that loyal, she's not going to tell us anything.
Nah. So you think?
Right. But think about this.
I'm not going to do anything yet. I'm going to just observe for now. One thing I do want to try to do is, let's see. I have a thing in here called trace. With plus empathy roll, basically I can follow the threads to see who she's connected to see if I could find my way to somebody important enough to know, I guess.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have you roll for that one.
Of course. Before I do that, let me see what I'm gonna possibly change her thing to.
My knee just started throbbing.
Ugh, that sucks.
My knees have been bothering me lately. That sucks too.
Alright, let's see if Jimena's formula is gonna do what you want it to do.
I feel like the likelihood is higher now.
Yes.
Not just making people explode on accident.
I mean, that could be exciting.
Yep.
I guess I'll do it under confident if I'm gonna do it. But not yet. Roll my thing.
Are any of you also participating in this? / what is the rest of the crew up to while this interrogation?
I'm totally
happening.
letting him take the lead. I'm just like I'm kind of leaning against the far wall, just watching.
I was like, yeah, Jamie's probably sitting on a table, dangling her legs.
I'm prowling the premises, looking for any excuse to start a fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You didn't get enough yet, eh?
You just got a taste.
Just cage tiger the whole time. Just
It's
You
just
got a
not
little
enough.
taste.
this is stupid. This is dumb. I'll murder all of them.
All right. After a little bit, lady just wakes up, and you gave her your drought. She's, God damn it, my brain. She's blinded by the light, and you know where my brain went.
Yep.
So.
Damn it, douche.
Yep.
You
That's
get
right.
down, but you never know what you're gonna be. Sorry.
Yep. As we were talking about, just immediate brain associations. She looks really unfocused. Like first she looks like startled, and then she looks around and tries to take in her surroundings. The lantern is in her face, so she squints and really can't make out much outside of the shapes of the two of you, I guess, up front. And she's sort of looking around. Jimena, you notice that her pupils are more dilated than they should be. She looks unfocused.
It's working.
Yes, you're where you thought you always would end up, but not from the same people you thought.
She sort of, she's trying to sort of assess, I guess, like where she is, and looks like she's about to ask a question, and then she sort of straightens a little bit in her chair and asks, "Oh, can I ask what the meaning of this is? Why am I here? Who are you people?"
I will be the one asking the questions. Okay?
Yes, fine. And her eyes are sort of going between the two of you. She can't really make features, you're pretty sure.
I'm gonna take out one of my my poignards and start casually sharpening it.
Yeah, she sees, or at least you can surmise, just based on how Jimena set the scene, that she mostly sees your outlines. She can get like a little bit of detail, but it's, the light's right in her face, so she's not getting a lot of information here. Both of you roll me wits plus notice. As you say, you will be asking questions. Like she sort of gives like all right, what can I answer for you? And she sort of leans back in her seat a little bit. Her demeanor seems calm, but she's still looking around.
So Jimena got 6.
6.
Wits plus notice.
Okay.
Stupid 9s. 7.
7.
Oh, by the way, I also, before I forget, I also got a 9 for the wits plus empathy.
Okay.
From earlier.
We'll cover that in a bit. Yeah, she's taking sort of a calmer demeanor, but she's clearly casing. She's basically in information gathering mode, even though her head is not all there. Like you can tell, like, when your head is stuffy and you're like, you sort of get like in an altered state. Like she sort of seems like that. She's trying to focus, but her focus is sort of eluding her. But she's trying to get information about the two of you, about where she is, about what your true intents are. So as you're approaching this, you're pretty sure she's trying real hard to get a read on both of you, and she's going to be really attentive to any sort of clues she can glean, either from the language you use or anything else she can gather.
Mm-hmm.
She's good. Basically, she knows her job.
Okay. Jimena basically is like, it's like, we are very interested to know who exactly is that you work for, because we know that you work for somebody, and that there are more people like you.
She sort of looks taken aback a little bit, and she's like, "Oh, well, more like me. You've met some of my sisters."
Your sisters?
Yes. Well, I guess I should explain. We're not necessarily related, but all of us did not have parents of our own, so we're sisters in some fashion.
Okay. Still did not answer my question though. And it would do you well to answer my questions.
Oh, I work for the office of Governor Perez, of course. We're part of the city staff. We help people get acclimated to the city, and if anybody is traveling through, we help them get acclimated, know where all the amenities are, and for people who have been living here for a while, we act like, I guess you could call us traveling information kiosks. That's what we do. We just provide information and help guide the citizenry if they're looking for specific locations or don't know how to do something. We're just here to help people.
Jimena thinks for a second. It's like, this lady's gonna need more urging.
With your wits plus notice, you both see the just little single bead of sweat at her forehead. She's keeping her story straight. It's demanding some effort from her. You sense that there's a fear that she's gonna get tripped up. You both rolled high enough that you'd be able to pick up on that.
Oh,
Because this might be relevant, you run your trace. First of all, like, you almost stumble backwards because when you first run it, it feels like a spider web to do, and there's
I've
like
done this before, and to some extent, she's connected to a lot of people.
Yep.
What I'm trying to look for is depth, not width.
well, it takes you a moment to adjust because there's literally hundreds of them. And the part that's really creepy is that you have her in front of you, so she feels fairly unique, but the further in the web you go, like, the more similar they seem. Like, if you're really close to one, you can tell it's an individual, but, like, if you were to look at it from really far away, all of these people could pass as the same person.
Can I tell why, or is that too? Okay.
No.
But do I actually notice anyone that this person or any of the others perhaps are strongly connected to? And I'm not looking to go that far up
Roll
the
me
chain.
a straight resolve. Roll.
Oh yeah, well, what? Right, I have legendary resolve, so it also
Because it's
gets-
hard to make up that information from afar.
Oh yeah, of course.
You're looking at a whole
Ah,
world.
2 10s. Woo. 1, 2,
Yeah, Jimena
3,
basically is like,
4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
7. Because I've got resolve.
Okay, I know for a fact that is not true. You might think it's true. It's not true. So you're going to tell me the actual truth, or things are going to get even hotter for you. And you don't want that. You don't want that.
She pauses for a second and stammers. If it's rehearsed, she's good at what she does because it seems genuine, right?
Mhm.
Like that she does the like I don't really know what else to tell you. I work for the city. Is it specific information you're looking for? If you're looking for anything about the city itself, we're just trying to make life easier for everybody. We just want everybody to be happy. And she stops at that.
Mm-hmm.
There's another bead of sweat as she says that, and she cuts herself short, as if she's about to get into something maybe that was unnecessary, right? She pulls on the brake, but she catches herself still, although it seems to come at some effort. This connects to a single person at the very end of the web,
Okay.
and this takes a lot of resolve for you to pull. There's a single person in charge. This is not anybody you've personally met before. You can attempt to get a read on them, but you'll only get their arcana.
I'm not sure I want to attempt that. What I do want to do, if this is possible, is drop an anchor there. Can I do that?
Yes. So you can zone in on a location. If somebody shows you a map of the city after this, you might be able to... You can tell, you're getting a ping of where that person is located.
Okay.
If
But
you
I
drop
don't
an
think
anchor
I'm going
there.
to actually read her like that, because it's taxing for me to do this, and also, I don't know if they've got other witches.
You'll
So.
start getting lash if you try to force it like that.
Okay. But, alright.
Yeah, her eyes start to dart back and forth again, and she redirects and start to be like, please, if it's information you want about the city or how it's structured, how its government is structured, I'd be happy to tell you.
And Jimena's just like, oh, honey. Like, I was going to be nice to you. I was. But you're making it very difficult for me. So I'll give you one last chance. One last chance. To start talking about things that actually, make sense and mean something. Before things are going to get uncomfortable for you. And when she says that, the flame in the lantern just gets brighter.
Alright, do me a panache. And
Can I assist
oh,
by
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Suddenly you've in. Whoa!
making like the rest of the room even darker to make it be like, oh.
Totally. So why don't you both roll this together? Let's roll a panache
We don't
and
have bad
intimidate.
cop, good cop, bad cop. We've got fire cop, shadow cop,
Yep.
and fate cop.
Yeah, bad cop, worse cop.
Yeah.
That should be the order. Bad cop, worse cop. Nick Cage and Bad Lieutenant. That's the bottom rung.
Do we have a map in that house? Because I think I'm gonna leave.
I think
try to
we
get that.
We do have a map.
Yeah, we have a map.
I believe you do.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been running around with a map for quite some time.
So I just abruptly leave the room for now and find that map, and immediately we'll try to get the location because
You brush into something that may or may not be a person on your way out.
Oh,
8.
well. That's nice.
It's like it's either her or me.
Yeah, Jimena got 6.
6.
What do I roll for that? If I'm
8.
looking at that.
No, I think it just is. Oh,
For
never
you.
mind.
Because I'm doing it based on something I just sensed, so I assume.
Yeah,
scholarship, so-
scholarship.
Can I use resolve since I used resolve to get that info in
Yeah.
the first place?
You're still trying to zone in on that feeling you got.
Alright.
It's rapidly fading, but you got your beacon to help you. Okay, you got 6.
I think she got 8.
Even got 8. Yeah, it's a weird feel because the lamp gets brighter and the shadows get darker. So you're getting into like art film territory here. Like the contrast just got way harsher. And it's even worse because as a result, since you're close to the lantern, like there's only like sort of part of your face that's showing up in the
Some
flickering light.
Rembrandt lighting.
Yes.
Very Caravaggio.
Yeah, that's right. I love Baroque paintings. That's basically what this is like. There's some
Lots of negative space.
There's some up in this bitch. Evine, you can sense that her eyes like dart around as Marlena leaves, and they sort of land in the darkness, like sort of in your vicinity. Like, you know when you go into a basement and you look at the shape of something and you're not sure that's a person, like you're not sure exactly what you're looking at, and you sort of freeze because you're sort of like, is somebody there? Like,
You turn on the light and it's just a pile of laundry you forgot to put away earlier.
basically, like just whatever shape that looks vaguely humanoid. Her eyes just stopped pretty much in the vicinity of where you are, Evine, and you get that sense from the look she's giving. Like, is there another person there? She also looks the other way and sees sort of in the darkness, like the legs of Zhenya still kicking from the table. Like in the flickering light, like the room is becoming more and more surreal. Right?
Ooh, at some point, can you turn into a rat and like run around her feet?
I mean, I have my field mouse.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Just make it extra creepy.
She
Would it be more freaky if it was like a full dire wolf?
But
But
she
just
can't really
stick
see, so it's better if it's like, oh god, 'cause she's tied to a chair. She can't
That's
go
true.
anywhere.
That's fair.
she's
It's
trying
like
to get
that
a
part
sense.
of Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Yeah, but hot breath on the back of your neck that
I
you
was
can't
just
see.
thinking the same thing. We should shoot puffs of air at them.
I don't know, I thought it was a snake. But,
Right.
You should
You
just
gotta
be a
think of
full
having
fuck off
serpents.
there.
aw.
Did a dog just sneeze on me?
I can
Yeah.
do like weird owl run and like
just on the floor.
yeah, because you would hear the talons like
yeah.
Yeah.
Just the,
Just make as many weird sounds for darkness as possible.
yeah.
We've caught the demons.
This is now a fucking haunted house.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's a
I'm sure
pretend
she's
one.
probably a good Vadachine woman, which means that
Right.
she's superstitious as fuck.
This is now like somebody's playing the fucking like spooky sounds tape.
Oh, I
Theus
love
can't
it.
hear you, honey.
Right.
Theus isn't listening.
There's like planks creaking. And somebody in the background's going like, oh. Yeah, she looks really unsettled. Like she looks like she's trying to lean into the role. She's not abandoning it, but the words don't really come out right now. Like she sort of stammers a couple times. Like she's trying to formulate an apology, but it's sort of peeling off, and she keeps looking into the darkness. Like she's no longer sure how many people are in here,
You're still near the house, right? Like you're
Oh
away
yeah,
from the
yeah.
shop?
If you want to handle something, I'm just prowling outside, being
Oh.
like,
So now
It's
that
little time, just like bounce through the door.
like
Oh
so
yeah.
I mean,
Jimena,
if you need someone to threaten to eat her, I'm here for you.
well Jimena it's like, well let's back up a little bit. Let's start with something easy. What's your name? What's your real name? I'll know if you're lying to me.
What is your favorite color?
There is. Jim.
I'm at blue.
There is no hesitation whatsoever. Although she's still looking on the darkness. Olivia Escara.
Yeah, Escara?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Jimena just basically like turns around and bellows as loud as she possibly can. Olivia Escara!
I stop dead in the yard, and I'm like,
Something has whispered to me.
and I,
She flinches in the chair as you bellow because she really wasn't expecting that. Everybody in the
Everyone was
house
just like, oh.
hears this. If you're out, Ricardo is on the back porch, like
Just
cleaning
like-
his
yeah, yeah.
pistol, and then he sort of, immediately, like he almost drops to a knee, like, is it time to fire? Like,
I slowly, nearly stomp back in, just trudge back in. And
No, I got-
are you
I think
full
I got 5
bird
for the map.
or are you just partial bird?
I don't
She's
know
just
what.
sitting.
She's not any
I'm just
bird
hanging
right
out.
now.
We were just chatting about
Yeah.
it would be silly if I did these things. But at the moment, I am Zhenya sitting on a table with my little feet like.
yeah. They're standing in the dark. There's like one lantern, like, police interrogation style.
I come in and
You know what I can do though, is I can just call creatures to me. So I could just be like, "Yo, Ratatouille," and then they all like
his name is Ren.
they all come out.
So I tromp in and I stop right up against the back of her chair.
Oh.
And so I just let whatever whatever hard piece of equipment I have on my belt just sort of press into her. Right? Probably the fork.
I bet.
Yeah. And I affect a higher pitch voice than I usually, so I'm like, and invest in, I'm like, what's with the name? To
Jimena.
Jimena. Or no, to
I don't
Zhenya.
speak Vestin, so
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
either
who's-
Zhenya or Evine could know what you're saying.
Yeah.
but I cannot.
Why are you giving us her name?
I was shouting it so that if
true name.
if need be, he can use it
Yep.
against her.
Yep.
Because he has creepy Swedish name magic.
I can
Which Zhenya tells you.
uh
Invest in.
so because it's not actually creepy name magic, I will burn the hero point to use that ability. Is this absolutely her true name?
100%.
And invest in, I say that is absolutely her real name. We now have that at the very least confirmed.
She
Well, yeah, 'cause I
doesn't.
said I'll know if you're lying to me, and then I yelled her name at you. So
No, yeah. Like
yeah.
She.
Tony was on board with it, but Rethel would have been
Yeah.
like, "Why are we shouting?"
And Jimena, who doesn't understand how your thing actually
Exactly,
works, would
yeah.
have been like, "You do name stuff, right?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah.
You can tell, right?
Yeah.
That's what I know about you.
Yeah, there's that and that stuff you do with the carving now
Like
and
you
then.
sing things.
I don't know
names,
if
I
they're
don't know, man.
connected.
Yeah. You take off your shirt, which may or may not be
Part of the
necessary.
magic.
Are your
Do
pets
do
magical?
I get the vibe that things are a little stale right now? That we're not making a lot of progress?
Well,
And
I'm
we
making
only- we
tons
only
of
just started.
progress.
given your arrival, you can absolutely join in on the panache, intimidate, especially since you bumped into the chair
oh no! I got
and spoke in the savage tongue.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3,
Maybe she'll
4,
just think it's really because
5.
of this awful gaming den, and you're offended. Anyway.
You're looking at the map in the meantime, and you're almost doing this like fucking pendant dowsing business because you're like, I know you're basically trying to retrace the steps of where you felt.
This is fucking stupid.
This stuff was going. It points to probably the most upper scale neighborhood in the whole city.
Okay, how
It
How
gives
granular
you
can I get
it
with
gives
that?
you an extra hint because it is a very upper scale neighborhood. It's also where the opera house is located in that area.
Oh. Wait, it was an opera house? The one I do now.
Well, it does give you a hint because your brain suddenly catches with recognition and you're like, one of our targets is a playwright.
Oh.
My 5 panache plus intimidate are because I just straight up awkward barber lean onto her, and then I bring my hand around and I start holding her mouth open and like testing her teeth, and I start talking in Vestin as if I'm appraising the teeth.
There is no resistance as you do this.
And then I bring up the fork and I tap one of them or two of them with the fork, like
In Castilian.
yeah.
In Castilian to you.
Sure.
Just to make sure that she understands what I'm saying, Jimena basically is like, for later. For later.
Have you learned to speak Castilian?
No.
So I repeated invested.
Vestinas are like
Yeah.
common.
It's
Oh.
just like
It's like a voice in the
Yeah.
darkness. Evine, you understand everything because you speak every
everything.
tongue known to man.
So I sort of like pause on one of the molars, and I sort of go, eh. And then I grab the ear and I just sort of like yank it a little out. I'm like, hey, you did. How about this one? Let's need these. Like, can still hear without them.
And Jimena is like, now, if you have your chance. Otherwise, we're going to let, and I'm just, whatever she thinks, because she's not going to use your real name, obviously. Whatever she thinks sounds like a Vestin name, which,
Johan.
or like,
Bruno.
yeah, something like
Bruno.
Wolf,
Yeah.
like whatever, I don't know.
Wolfgar.
Uter.
Yeah.
It's like,
Give me
I'm gonna let Leafson here.
Leaf
We're gonna let
son.
Eric
What-
Erickson go
what
to
is
town.
your
Jorgen
name?
Jorgensen.
Yeah.
What's the name of the opera house? Does it have a name?
Yes, but I need to dig it up.
Okay.
So, Rethold, I'll let you roll me either a wits notice or wits empathy. Because you're in a sense, you're holding her.
it's like, now's your chance. I can only keep him.
Oh yeah, she stiffened. The ear portion, like the teeth was weird, but when you grabbed the ear, like you got an immediate flinch.
Nice.
It's like, I can't account for these people, you know. It's like, she's saying really mean things about you in Castilian, but she doesn't mean most of them.
Rethold probably takes most of them as a badge of honor. Yeah.
This fucking trash heap. Jesus. I had a fucking raccoon in here. I got dinner. Jesus.
Basically, just
Yep.
get it, 'cause I'm gonna pass.
6, 9.
Just grab a handful of
Gross.
dice and just-
So?
Hmm?
What is it?
Oh, 1 second.
4.
Sorry. Doing
No,
things at
3.
once.
3. Fucking 3 out of like 8 dice.
Sometimes that happens.
Barely made a 15 out of that.
Maybe.
My heart's not in it. This isn't real warrior shit. This is
Yeah.
this is dumb, and this is just me like poking fun at the natives at this point, and it's like there's no.
You're not really
enjoying that.
you're not really fine tuning it, but you triggered some sort of fight or flight response. You're leaning, but you're leaning more towards fight. Like she's scared. Clearly, you rattled. Like all of you together are starting to rattle her, but you're not exactly sure if she's about to panic or try to figure out how she's gonna fight her way out of this.
She's not.
All right.
Oh, so in Vestin, I would say.
Is this good enough for now? This is what I'm gonna tell Hannah.
Do we maybe want to break anything that she would need to fight her way out, because she seems ready to make a move?
Let her.
It's like if she's not going to tell us anything,
She won't get very far from me.
Evine, roll me wits plus notice.
Of the immaculate. Okay.
Alright.
While he's messing with Olivia, I go to Jimena and just do that. And then I just go back to my wall and continue my sharpening.
ooh, interesting. I'll wait till Athena's done. With her milk dice. I bet it's 11.
It's 15. Is that really the word for throat? Garganta? Or garganta? Harhanta?
What do we guard on
Another 8.
Sorry,
8?
I was trying to come up with a name for the opera house, and I was like,
Yes.
it's Garganta
Another
de
8.
Oro.
No, I wrote the name on the
There's
paper.
an actor.
It's
Yeah.
at the bottom.
Oh,
Name.
the House of the Immaculate?
Immaculate.
That's much less suggestive than mine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I know. It's because Rethel doesn't own it.
That's because Tony didn't make it up.
Yeah. It's not all like veiled dicks everywhere.
It's now the passing wind.
That is a noble boat. It's an excellent craft.
It
It's
doesn't have
not
a
really a
bird
ship.
name in it
It's
though.
barely veiled dicks
It's more of a giant,
everywhere.
bathtub. But
It's one of my favorite shots of in movie reviews. Either they reviewed the Fist of the North Star live action movie and how homoerotic all the fights look, and then they took the fight where they just jump kick at each other and they cut it, and the next shot is 2 dildos hitting each other in slow motion.
nice.
Just amazing. Yeah, Jimena, this is your show now. Evine, she, to your eye, she looks like an operative. This is the kind of training you have. She's trying to read her surroundings. She's trying to figure out what her exit strategy could be. You see that since Rethold came in, she's increasingly erratic. She also knows there's at least an exit that way. And she's trying to figure out what obstacles lay between her and it outside of Rethold, who has her by the head
I
currently.
mean, we're all in here.
But-
Good luck.
One thing, she's basically like you're not exactly sure what's going through her head, but she's going through the motions like you would, in the sense that she seems like she's on a mission and she's now weighing what are my chances of making it out alive / will I have to end myself here in order not to
That's what I'm
compromise the
worried about.
mission. You're starting to get the sense of that in her.
I'm basically preparing an action that if she manages to move out of the chair, then I'm just going to break her leg. And if she gets shots in on me as a result, so be it. Because please, give me the extra dice.
Yeah, after when Marilena hands this to Jimena, Jimena's like, oh, Viviana Valenciano. Interesting. Does that name sound familiar to you?
It's supposed to notice on everyone. She shakes her head and then sort of pauses.
I wish we could burn Notre Dame.
She's sweating more now. Like, she shook her head maybe just a little too fast. And then starts to go into almost
Apparently, I am only capable of getting 6 today.
Well,
but I got 6.
6 is far from bad.
I also got 6.
By the way, I would
paying attention.
Shadow whispered my suspicions to
Oh, yeah.
everybody.
6 as well.
Okay.
6, 7.
La la tita.
Yeah, you caught.
I when she would stop shaking her head, I keep moving it. And I say something invested to the effect of, tell her that that's what animals do and we need a human to talk, otherwise she's going to become...
Well, she doesn't fight it, in fact, and she almost... you realize that she might have shook her head like a little bit too fast, and she work at catching herself again and sort of gives like almost like the textbook answer. It's much less articulate than it was when you first started talking to her. She's starting to struggle to remember her lines at this point, so she stumbled in a couple parts, but she's basically just telling you that, well, Lady Valenciano is very well known here. I don't know her personally, but she's a famous patron of the arts. She wrote a few plays. She writes music. She's the height of fashion.
Jimena interrupts her. Is like, okay, clearly, like, okay, I can tell you're lying, and also I think this is the name we need. And then in Thean, she says, okay, take her teeth.
I put the fork back into her mouth, and I start pulling down her jaw.
Oh, she. By the way, with the Wits Plus Notice, you saw the flinch she tried to conceal when you uttered the name. Well, we'll see how well she can still keep this together, because now this is a triple, quadruple whammy. She almost braces herself to take it. She's obviously been trained for this kind of stuff, but then her eyes go into the darkness. Jimena, you recognize, like, her pupils are sort of doing the weird...
Oh shit, it's happening.
Yeah, like something's wrong with her. Like, she started... Rethel, you feel her, like, sweating profusely.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh no.
she suddenly seems like she's having a panic attack. Like, she's hyperventilating and she's looking around, and in your grip, Rethel, like, you basically are holding her jaw open and she's still trying to talk, and in Castilian she's like, who are you? Who are you? Why are you here? And then in almost like a stream of consciousness, she goes right to prayer. And intersped between the prayer, she's like, give me the strength. Give me the strength. Oh, I don't think I'm strong enough.
Strength plus brawl to pull out a canine.
Okay.
When you
At home dentistry.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really have a medicine check, so
No.
Yeah, this is not going to be precise at all. You might get a few teeth.
Yeah.
oh, there's the tens. All right. Because no, I can't have her make a liar out of me.
So
And in Thean, I say necklace. If maybe, well, oh, I get one more. All right, let's see. 26. No, but I have 6 there, and those are trash. Okay, 2, 4, 6. To do some at-home dentistry.
Well,
Pop out one of those incisors.
this is you're not trained, but you grab one of the teeth.
I know where they are, and I know how much pressure they need.
Yeah, you yank it out, and it does come out with that much force, pretty cleanly. And there's a gush of blood that hits your hand, and then just a yell of pain from Olivia before she makes an attempt to grit her teeth for just like a second to try to contain it, but it goes back out again. She yells this hoarse low scream of just straight up pain.
So, in the couple moments of that, panache plus intimidate, if you'll allow.
Yep.
Oh, hot shit. I basically rub the blood on her face, just sort of that same hand, and then I pull the tooth behind her and then pop like a chestnut or like something in my mouth and just start crunching on it in her ear. So, let's see what stupid amount of successes this actually gets me, because these are a lot.
Yeah.
This is a rich environment here.
Yeah, him is basically like,
Ooh.
like.
What'd I say? What'd I say?
If you would just tell us, we won't have to do this anymore, you know. It's like, either you tell us or we kill you at this point.
Don't kill her. That's what she wants. She doesn't want to have to talk.
It's like, we already know the name.
9, 16. Cool. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 raises.
All right. She's probably believing in what she's doing. She's probably loyal to the cause.
Oh, she absolutely is.
She's not in her element right now. She's really not in her game. She's not sure what's wrong with her head, but everything right now is magnified and the pain is too much. She just lets out like yelps of pain for like a moment longer and sort of slumps forward in the chair and spits a gross glob of blood on the floor. When she speaks again, her voice seems lower, and the joy in it is pretty much gone. And she finally says, "You have the name, so what use am I to you now?"
Well, we were hoping you could give us more details. But if you're not going to, I guess you do have a point.
She looks back at you, and there's fear and defeat in those eyes, and just like a shred of defiance. More than a little bit of shame that she's been pushed to this point. And she says, "We keep the information flow going in this city. There's many of us. I'm not saying this to be defiant, but
We know.
whatever you do with me, even if you kill me, my sisters will fill the void of my absence."
They will. They have all been trained the same.
Is there a name for your sisters and yourself?
We're the Ascaras. And there's like a hint of the same almost like trained peppiness that comes into it, even though her wordings are way too airy at this point because she just lost a canine. So
So, why were you trained to do this from birth?
not exactly, but we were saved from a much worse fate.
But you know what you are doing to these people is wrong, right? But you think this is worth it? Whatever your ultimate goal is, you're giving people the illusion of peace and killing innocents in the process.
She spits another glob of blood and she looks at you. She still is almost like resignation in her eyes. And she looks at your form and she says, "I can't tell much about you from here, but you look like you're not struggling to eat.
No.
Causes are well and good when you have food on the table every day. You have all the time in the world to worry about that. When you don't, life is much different. You survive any way you can."
I did not come from riches. I built some, but I was a kept woman.
Well, good for you. You made it work. So did I. And she says, "They're not wrong, you know. Leeso is peaceful."
On the surface. That's all that matters, huh?
Well, why don't you ask people what matters to them? They don't have to worry about anything.
Unless they want something that... Sorry, this is so inappropriate. Scratch it, email.
There you go.
Anyway,
Jimena chimes in with, "I don't know. We've met several people in this city already that worry about a lot of things, including where their wife went, why they're being chased by the police, for being a person and a citizen."
you
There's
must truly believe that you are doing good, but you're not. Most of the people who say they like this They're doing it because they're afraid. They can't say that they don't believe. They can't say that there isn't peace, because they will be taken away, killed, who knows what. This is not peace. It's not real.
I know you won't resonate with this because your view is different from mine, but better them than me.
When she says that,
I think we're done.
yeah, like Jimena's like, okay, I'm over it, and just.
Are you killing her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you don't.
I was gonna mention the island.
What island?
What island?
San
You
Jose.
can send her to our island.
I wouldn't do that.
'Cause
She
we
is
have-
right. There are many of her.
Yeah, but
I am
what-
not.
she expects death.
I am not certain whether they can
How would
tell.
we get her to the island?
Throw her on her boat.
In fact, it would just mean that we would put the island in danger. They're connected, as in a way that I can see. There are many of
I
them.
think
They're
they're a hive
all
mind.
connected. It's probably best that we go to the source before we do
Right.
anything with the individuals.
Well, if we're just gonna keep killing them all, then
Well,
we
we're
don't
not.
need to go through all this.
We're going to go kill
We
her.
can do it the fun way.
Well, we were hoping that she would have something to tell us, but she's not going to tell us. So,
Well,
I don't know what use there is in sending her to the island just to have her there.
Oh,
I feel like if you had stopped,
Maybe.
I would have already finished killing her
maybe,
by now.
maybe maybe unbrainwash her or something. But I don't know. Yeah. All right.
Mm,
I mean, or you could, knock her out or something.
Well,
I don't know.
I was thinking of it. Yeah.
Just keep knocking her unconscious. She keeps waking up in different places
That's right.
I
with
mean,
less teeth.
just one so far.
okay, fine. You can do what you wish.
It might heal back up, but
I mean, I could also smack her on the head with my sword.
Yep.
It's the other option.
no.
Is that-
It's not
she'll
necessarily
basically have to be
impossible
like suicide watch.
that you might be able to squeeze more things out of her. She hasn't been separated from the rest of her group long.
That's true.
If you isolate her, there's a chance.
Do we have a basement?
Oh yeah,
Isn't that where we were? I don't know why I just imagined it was a basement.
there's a cellar in your house. That's where all the wine is.
Keep her in the cellar. Or we can put her on a boat.
doesn't matter to Virginia.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you just not want to kill her?
Rethel doesn't. It's not a warrior's death. It's thought we were gonna get more out of this, and
Yeah.
the whole point is that we're supposed to be liberating this town, and if most of the town is in on this stupid thing, then
That's not true.
burn,
They're
burn it to
not.
the fucking ground.
They're not all. They're not all in on it, but all of her sisters.
No,
are.
there's obviously a large enough contingent that this is a pervasive point of view from whoever set it up, and is now believed wholeheartedly. And yeah, they've managed to indoctrinate the disenfranchised by
Some of them.
brainwashing these orphans.
This is only one.
It doesn't necessarily sound like brainwashing to me. It just sounds like lesser evil, survival of the fittest situation.
Well,
And I will do what I need to survive, period.
this
Yeah.
playwright basically found people who had nothing else
Yeah.
and trained them for this.
Yeah.
And so they owe her, and they've given them like advantages that they wouldn't otherwise have had.
But her responses weren't, no, it is good. They were like, better me than them.
Yeah.
I'd rather be alive than... It's not a brainwash, it's just a whatever. It's an apathy.
Yep.
I'm almost tempted to knock her out and then leave her on a dock or something, but she has collected a lot of information about us, so.
Well, I don't know that she's collected a lot of
Yeah,
information.
she hasn't managed to gather much.
She has no idea how I got my information.
She also has none of your names or
Yeah.
descriptions, really.
Because she couldn't really see anything.
Well, if you do release her back into the wild, maybe they will come get us. Isn't that what we wanted?
Not really.
I wouldn't.
Yes, but no.
I mean,
I'd fucking love it. Let's go.
I mean, at least if you end up in their base, you're sure to be killing the right people.
So I
So you
think
can just punch in any direction.
so. Right after you finish your statement, I Rethel senses the like tension and just clobbers her out. Just nighty night.
Yep.
And then we have this conversation about
She's out.
About what to do with her.
About what we should do with
and
her.
Jimena's like knife, and I'm like, wait.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Well,
Everyone's
It's like sword, knife, maybe leave her, maybe put her on home, take
I'm
her
like,
to the
I mean,
end.
so
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah,
I
but-
won't sneak in later and stab her when no one's looking.
You
I
already-
mean, if someone really feels the need, for
I'm just saying because I've done that
for the
before.
murderer,
Yeah.
for the murdering, by all means.
It's like, I guess if we're at the point where Rethel doesn't want to kill somebody.
Yeah,
I want to kill people who want to kill me back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's the warrior code thing.
Yep.
I just want to kill people who have no morals.
Well, either way, you now have a prisoner. It is getting to be late night.
So are we going to keep her here, or can I go drop her off somewhere?
I would.
Genya would like to keep her.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Oh well, you weren't participating in any of this.
Nope.
She was just watching.
Yeah.
Yep.
Renia was just a contributing participant.
No,
Just
Jenya's
like-
gonna take her in the cellar and take care of her. so
Yeah,
that we make
yeah.
No, because I can teach her a lesson,
Or
Oh,
that.
there you go.
and Matushka will be happy with me.
Yeah.
I can switch her apathy to something more useful.
I hold up the tooth. I'm like, you want to give her that back?
I can give it back to her.
Can you do it without taking away your own?
Yes.
All right. I hand you the tooth.
She's kind of like, it's so small.
Yeah.
I kind of hold the lolling hand. I'm like, well, obviously it's not the super predator. It's more of an omnivore.
My teeth are bigger than this.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. Maybe you should kill me.
playing with her
Yeah.
past weekend at Bernie's.
Just all the blood, right? Still pulses every so often.
Oh, right.
I don't know about the rest of y'all, but
I am
I
evil.
need to go rest and take care of my lashes.
Yeah, it's been a minute since Jenny's been able to pull someone aside and teach them a proper lesson because someone keeps corrupting them
Yep.
and
Yep.
changing their names.
You mean making them better? Okay.
I'm doing
Unlike
that.
Julie here, we give them a choice.
Jimena
Yeah.
just
Die
thanks
with
for
honor.
food.
Die with honor,
Or forsake everything you ever knew and change your name and
or become
my plaything.
the better version of yourself, which is actually Jose.
That's right.
I guess Jimena will be the one that goes down and takes care of her.
If you go,
It's like, I know that I told my friend to pull your tooth out, but I just want you to know that it was because I was thinking of you. It was all for, it's all for shit. In
It's
your
all
best
for shit.
interest.
yeah.
Yeah, it was all
It
for
was-
shit.
It was all in your best interest. Here's some food. I promise it's
I was
not
like, well,
poison.
that's basically what Jenny's
Okay.
gonna do
I
is
can't
heal
remember
her
if this
Yeah.
and
was
be like, hey,
tonight
I heard what you said.
or not.
No, I don't think so.
Let me tell
Okay.
you, have you heard about my Lord and Savior?
Right.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna be like right here then, because
Your Lord and Savior says this.
I'd heal this. I'm gonna take 4. Wait, no. Damn it. I'm at 5 still. Doesn't work.
Well,
Fuck.
someone's
I guess
been
I'm stuck at 5 then.
someone's been reading into the Matrix, so
I know. I gotta stop reading so much.
Well.
No, never stopping.
Blonde, redhead, brunette.
Basically. So you can get some rest. Evine, you know you have a protocol for a meet with the Invisible College tonight. So if you the note that was given to you by a running child who you found out was not a child, or at least could tell was not a child. Yeah, so you can either go on your own, you can share that with the group and see if anybody wants to tag along with you.
I will share.
The invitation does carry to your group.
Are we doing that tonight?
She
You
is.
meet us tonight.
Oh. I did kind of want to go to that. No, I really do need to rest though. I'm an early sleeper. That's a Marlena thing.
Yeah, so Evine did share that info, so if anybody wants to tag along.
If you want me to come along, I will. But
You're not going to be punching people in a college, probably.
No. I'll be fine to go by myself.
We may not even know you're gone.
I tucked myself in with my rage boner. And just
So
try and
rare.
catch some Z's.
Still covered in blood.
You just leave it on there. It helps you sleep.
It, kind of, you're like, saw some action today.
Alright. Zhenya, Jimena, are any of you wanting to tag along to talk to these folks?
Went from a glorious bar fight to gross interrogation.
I think Jimena might go. Jimena will go.
Yeah, these are the people of the sad prospective Jose you've met previously. He even gave you his ring.
So as Zhenya's goal is to be seen, so she's seen making trouble and taken, she doesn't want to go to this because she doesn't want to
Got it.
out them.
Makes sense?
Just herself.
Makes sense. Okay. So Evine and Jimena, you leave the house, follow Evine's protocol. You had heard from Fatima, which was the girl that Zhenya first contacted when she got into the city. When she came in as a bird ahead of the ship to warn Invisible College that the conspirators were cracking down on them. You also had a location that was previously used as a meet. That location is a no-no now because it might have been compromised. So the new meet is happening at what looks like to be a private residence in the sort of the worksman's quarters in Leeso. It's sort of a small corner house. Jimena, it reminds you pretty much of the house of the man you met on your first day, in the sense that it's a very humble home, right? Like sort of at the ground level of a building. There's probably other tenants in that same building, or at least like nearby. It's not ill-maintained like that man's house was. But there are sort of a few people. It's almost like they made like a makeshift like speakeasy in this house, in the sense that there's a few people sort of at candlelight sitting at tables discussing. Looks like they're drinking. It's not rowdy. It feels
Underground salon.
yeah, well, it's almost like a it's like a proletariat meeting, right? Like if it was in fashion, there would be a lot of turtlenecks and flat caps
Oh God.
and cigarette smoke, right? But instead, you see a lot of tired folks in this house, and they almost all jump to their feet when Evie leads you to the door, but she gives sort of the password protocol, and a middle-aged bearded gentleman sort of opens the door for you all and gestures to the back of the room and says, we never seen you here before. What can we help you with? From the back of the room, Fatima sort of rises in her seat and sort of waves her hand and says, they're with me. Just send them over. At which point the gentleman sort of grunts and ushers you in and shuts the door and bars it behind you. Conversations picks back up as he goes into one of the corner of the room where he can pretty much see everybody. Picks up a guitar and basically plays some very chill sort of background music, right? Like as people are discussing. Even and him and I, you're led to the back room table where Fatima's sitting by herself with a bunch of papers at the table, and she sort of indicates 2 seats in front of her. And she says, please pardon Giuseppe, we've already had to change the meeting place 3 times in the past month. He's a little jumpy.
Understandable.
I will start right now before we even get to business, and she sort of props some goblets in front of you and pours some wine into it without even asking. And says, by offering you all our thanks, if you hadn't given us prior warning, many of us would have died. Many of our holdings were raided. We had to make some strategic retreats, and we had to let go of some territories and some hideouts, but we survive, and the fight survives, and that's in great part because of you. And as she says those words, even though everybody else was having different conversations in the room, there's sort of a muted cheer as everybody raises their glasses.
Good night.
And yeah, like it goes right back to it goes right back to sort of conversations. And she takes a swig of her wine and then puts it on the table and says, I will admit to some curiosity. It seems like most of Castile is now turning a blind eye on Leeso's plight because we're not causing trouble. And there is no crime in Leeso. But you're here picking a side, the unpopular side, and helping us stay in this fight. May I ask you why?
That's a darn good question.
Only you.
Wait, why are we helping?
Look, Amanda doesn't really have an answer to that.
Yeah. Well,
Evine might.
Evine, it depends on how much you're willing to share, right? In a sense, you're trying to unify Odiseo under one banner, and Leeso is the other big city outside of San Felipe. I mean, the governor is back with you all and is hell-bent on taking his city back. But that is not public knowledge yet. When Carlos Perez left Leeso many months ago to try to go quell the business in San Felipe, it was a wet noodle of a man that was basically being run over by the cardinals, by the church, by the crown. Everybody was sort of telling him what to do, and he was going along with it. So, him being back in town, not really giving much of a difference to people, but he's changed.
Did that actually answer the question?
Well, in a sense, you're here to liberate Leeso, to unify
Yeah,
it
like-
with San Felipe.
We're here because the governor asked us to be. At the end of the
true.
day, that is why. That is the easy, direct answer.
That actually elicits a laugh from Fatima, and she says, regardless, I appreciate the extra support because we have our work cut out for you. We've been making a losing battle. Leeso is very much what the Inquisition wanted San Felipe to be. This is the San Felipe project completely realized. And there's some sneers in the rest of the room as she says those words, and continues. The idea was to subjugate San Felipe and make it a jewel in the south, a city without strife, good Vatican city that would still continue to trade with foreign nations but would keep a safe distance from them. Everything that the church wants for Castile. And then she sort of stops and says, well, everything that the Inquisition wants for Castile. And really what Cardinal Verdugo wants for
At
Castile.
the mention of the Inquisition and Cardinal Verdugo, Jimenez spits on the floor.
Your spit is sort of accented by a guitar chord from Giuseppe in the corner.
Slightly dissonant one for a
As
second.
yeah.
It's
As
like
he,
a chorus of spits.
Yep.
All the spittoons go beak.
Yeah, there's grumbling in the room at those same names being exchanged. Fatima says, when it became clear that San Felipe would not be tamed, that this fight could not be won, 2 inquisitors were sent in a last-ditch attempt to bring the unruly city to heel. It failed miserably.
Jace,
And-
we know.
When it became clear that it was going to fail, Cardinal Verdugo started to divert all of his resources up here to Leeso. The city's almost unrecognizable now, in the sense that if you walk the streets, you'll see a lot of smiling faces, you'll see people happy to be here, proud of their city, proud to be Castilian, but make no mistake, Leeso is afraid. Leeso's terrified and is sitting under the boot of the Cardinal. More than anything, they're scared of Legion and they're scared that living their lives as they used to be, free and happy, means they're damning their souls because information control in this city is ironclad. I'm sure you're aware. The network that up until recently we didn't know who was in charge. Lady Valenciano runs a tight ship.
We know.
For everything that happens in the city that could turn the tide in our favor, she has a spin on. Either it was planned, or things were not as they seemed, or whatever it is. She always finds a way to control the information and makes any step we make forward and every attempt that we make at making the church look bad, the winter sun look bad, she finds a way to mitigate that and keep the populace.
Is a Fey Witch. I'm like, fuck. God damn it.
I mean, yeah, Valenciano sounds like a more Italian
I
name
know,
than
I
that.
was just thinking that. I'm like, wait, oh shit. I'm so glad you didn't read her. She would have seen me right away.
Jimena's like, we do have one of her people.
There's almost a pause in the room.
She looks at me, I'm like, what was I supposed to tell her?
And Fatima sort of leans forward, like almost in slow motion, like leaning over the table, and she's like, "You have one of the Escaras?"
Say,
We keep her in a jar.
like, she's in
He
our
nods.
she's in our cellar with our beast woman, and she's missing a tooth.
It's like all true too.
If
Yeah.
Zhenya hadn't taken it, you could have just tossed the tooth on the table.
Yeah.
Just be like, yeah.
Like, yeah, see, this was in her mouth before.
She's in multiple parts, but you know.
No, I mean, she's intact, but inside she's not.
Yeah.
I don't know that
No, that's
Jimena
fair,
would have
yeah.
actually called you that.
I mean,
Kind of
I
maybe.
used to call her White Witch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Beast Woman is
Yeah.
an upgrade.
I don't know how to say beast in Spanish. Something weird. Whatever.
Yeah, she says this could be incredibly valuable and incredibly dangerous.
We had that feeling. She wouldn't tell us anything, but we only got started.
She is very well trained.
Say,
Well, that's the impression. They're everywhere as well because they're more or less city guides, which is quite ingenious because they can be posted everywhere. They're being very helpful. They talk to everybody. Every stranger that gets into the city checks in with them because why wouldn't you? You're just trying to get information on this town you're unfamiliar with, which means most foreigners end up unwittingly registering with them and giving them information by virtue of just trying to find out more about the place they're visiting.
They're like human pop-up ads.
Well, none of them is a cat or a letter or a, what was the other thing? Sorry, I'm just referencing a different game. My bad.
Would you like to know more? Click here. Give us your bank account number.
No.
That's right.
I punched the cat.
We have a stamp card. No more
Yeah.
stamp
they want to talk to you about your car's extended warranty.
Damn it all.
Yeah. That's right. This is the last time you're gonna go to jail because you didn't pay your taxes.
Sorry.
Speaking of which, not the jail part, but the rest. Lisa, you should call my voicemail and put on speakerphone for people.
Okay.
And updated it ever so slightly because my phone got reset.
Sure.
Okay, continue.
Ask your game.
Yeah, she says that they probably still have prisoners. Some of our folks have disappeared. We're fully expecting they died. But they're not always shy about arranging accidents for our people, which makes us believe that some of them might have been kept either for intelligence or perhaps even as leverage. I believe you've already met one of our members who has more or less been subdued into inaction by the loss of his wife. And she sort of sighs as she says this and says, I hate to be this pragmatic, but if they killed her, he's only subdued once, but as long as they can give the impression that they're holding her and there's a chance for her return, he's subdued forever. If you could find where these people are held, you'd have a powerful tool on your side.
That was part of our plan.
Well,
I think we could do that. We were already going to do that.
if it is, and she sort of snaps her fingers and the guitar playing stops. The bearded man sort of disappears into a side room of the shop and then brings back a small chest that he puts on the table. This is yours. Everything we have on the disinformation campaign, how they operate, any dead drop protocols we've managed to observe. Maybe if you read through these documents, you might be able to catch something that we didn't, or you might be able to infer patterns that we might have missed. Unfortunately, most of our people are really committed to the cause. Many of us are not trained operatives.
Technically, neither are most of us.
We're students and people of the clergy who oppose the Inquisition and teachers. So many of us are pretty new to this cloak and dagger, but you might be able to make more sense of it. I recommend burning it once you've committed the information to memory.
That won't be hard. Wouldn't be the first time.
And then she says to Evine, you and I can continue to be in touch through the university. We owe our survival, or the survival of this city's cell, to you and your group. We're in your debt, and we share a common enemy. Whatever we can do to help support you, you tell me. Our resources are limited, but we know the city very well, and we're everywhere. Please help us.
Excellent. We will let you know what we find.
I appreciate it. And she sort of leans back into her seat and she's like, I've made my pitch. Is there anything I can do for you?
While I snore.
Is there anything that we were gonna ask them?
What about
Don't think.
I mean, I'm not there, but isn't there one of our targets is in the university? Let me ask about that. Like how we can get to him, because we do have to kill this guy. Hopefully, I'm like thinking really hard at you in my sleep right now. That's how this works, right?
Yeah, well,
Yep.
what did that segment from? Yep. Joaquin Aguilar is one of the people on your
On our
kill
shit
list, and he's a
Their
professor.
Professor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's supposedly Cardinal Verdugo's master spy here in Leeso.
That's right.
Mm.
I wrote this shit down. Where did it go?
Well, it's a TV show we revisit every other week, and then we're like, shit, what happened last week?
Yep.
Fuck, they stopped putting the recaps at the beginning of the episode, and now I'm really off my game.
I remember writing these names down. I just don't remember. Apparently, I don't know where I did that. Oh well.
Well, John gave us
Anyway.
a PDF at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about this Aguilar character?
Yeah. She says that he's a slippery one. He's well liked at the university, and to be fair, before we uncovered the information, none of us really suspected him. I'm pretty sure he expressed sympathies for the Invisible College in the past, and may or may not have been in contact with a couple of our agents who are now dead. So he's cunning, but by talking with some of the other cells elsewhere in Castille, we got a pretty good portrait of him before he came to Leeso. So regardless of his reputation, he is Cardinal Verdugo's spy master, and he's run similar operations in many cities, and not only in Castille. Verdugo sent him abroad a couple times. He looks like a well-mannered, funny old man, but don't be fooled. This man can hold his own in a scrape, and his mind's as sharp as his knife. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was not the one helping to coordinate a lot of the other characters on that list that we shared with you. That said, if you do dig into Lady Valenciano and manage to paralyze Leeso's propaganda machine, the game will be very different. That means everything you do in the city will operate with minimal damage control on the enemy side. The people will be able to see you for who you are and not what the enemy makes you to be. That will change the game.
Steeple fingers.
Oh, I've already got my mind set on getting her.
There's a cough from Giuseppe, and when he speaks, his voice is weirdly higher than you imagine. He's sort of a big, bearded dude, and he speaks in sort of a high tenor and says, from what I hear, you're already doing a couple things that will make it harder on them to spin their way. I heard about a fire in town. Lots of chaos there.
Case.
Oh, yes.
I wasn't sure it was you, it sure as hell wasn't us. And I can't imagine anybody pulling that kind of ballsy move outside of your little group.
And I was like, no, it was the winter sun. Like, it was like a very obvious, like, wink.
And like without missing a beat, he sort of nods and he said, "So I hear. Big mess to clean." He sort of coughs and then hands you the coffer that contains the document. And he sort of nods at both of you and he says, "If you need my help, I'm your man."
Did he say what his name was?
Giuseppe.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yep.
Sounds close to Jose.
I mean,
I mean, it is the Italian version of Joseph.
Yep. He's
you're just calling us, like telegraphing it before we even start.
I like how the MO now, when this crew moves to a new place, is mapping out the potential Jose's
Like, now we
in the vicinity.
Well, he wouldn't be Italiano because there's no Italy. But
Vaticine. Yeah, the
Voce.
Vocine. Yeah,
Vodace.
Botticello.
yeah.
Jose.
Voce. Yeah, Voce. Yeah, sounds good.
See what the chill. Oh my god.
Yep. As an aside, do you know how fun it's been? I had to recomb my notes because I'm trying to fill this goddamn wiki, and I'm like, these Jose's had names before you named them Jose. What were those? I had to dig through. Basically,
Probably not. Don't trust me.
It might be in some of my notes.
So, Jose Correa was Carlos. Jose Espada is a Vodace.
yep, that's Carmelo.
My son is Jose Luis
Yep,
Hombre Mendez.
that's why he's now Jose Luis.
Yeah.
His
Jose
name is
Palabra.
Luis.
No, yeah. And then Jose Palabra and Jose Marinero. I don't know
Yep.
who those are.
I had to come through notes because I was
Yeah.
like,
Jose Diego.
there's like,
Well, Jose Viejo Mendez was actually a crescent from the ship we liberated.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he died
Oh, that's right.
of
Yeah.
like old age or something.
Yeah.
yep.
He was just like, I'm good. I'm out.
Yep.
And we were like, ow.
I'm done.
Like, oh, there goes. It's like Muppet Treasure Island. Young Bob, old Bob, and dead
Oh,
Bob.
yeah. Old Tom, real old Tom, dead
Dead
Tom. They shot dead Tom. But
Yep.
that Tom's always been dead. That's why we call him Dead Tom.
This is that territory.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and this is part of what fucking prompted me to fill in this wiki. I can't Control F my written notes
I'm
to
sorry.
try to find just like the moment, like when any of these became Batman and you know Carmelo became Jose Espada. Like I had to
Yeah.
dig for this shit.
Yep. Yeah.
After you found a warehouse.
So you're
full
saying
of
I
slaves.
should start a wiki immediately for Dragon Heist?
Do.
Got
I mean, yes. You don't know how many NPCs we'll collect.
Do.
It's
Well-
probably less necessary for a module pre-made, but I don't know.
We're already starting with.
You don't know how far we're gonna
Yeah,
divert.
I mean, so far, a chunk of the party wants to see Waterdeep burn. Or no,
Yeah.
doesn't care because Waterdeep is too low stakes for like a third of the party.
It's fine. Graves cares for anyone who doesn't.
I'm just here for the food.
Ultimately, it's prime material security that I'm interested
Exactly,
in.
right? Yeah. And so it's like if we have to burn Waterdeep down to ensure the safety of this reality, so be it.
I'm still in the assessment phase.
Also,
You already
goddamn it,
killed the
Matt
Mind
Mercer-
Flayer. You've been in Waterdeep for like a week. You're like the best
That
fucking
means-
soldier of your kind.
That
Yeah.
means I'm doing a good job.
That's
Yep.
right. That's right.
So you're just passing through and just kill the Mind Flayer.
Hell yeah.
I had help.
All right.
We can always blame Matt Mercer, so it's okay.
That's right.
Yep.
Mercer. Even in this game. blame Night Mercer.
Yeah, somehow it's still his fault.
I agree.
If ever one day I manage to fucking Kevin Bacon my way into a meeting with that man, I would be like, curse your name at D&D on a regular basis. And he'll probably be like, you're not the only one. Have you
Your
watched
name is a
Critical Role?
curse. Yep. For posterity, if everything in this game you enjoy and is working well, it's all my doing. If not, and if there's anything you want to change, it's Mercer's fault.
That's right.
Sounds solid.
So you're invited to stick around and drink more wine if you'd like and discuss. Although you're used to the hopping scene at Restaurant Salazar, and this is not it. This
moving
is
into Montaigne territory.
No, these nerds think that this is it.
They're moving
but
into
it's
Montaigne
not.
territory where we drink wine and we are sad all day.
They're some of Genius people would ascribe to this because it's working class people pissed at nobles, and
That's my deal.
you know
There's gonna be that brooding waitress that's just
Yeah.
right, the
they're
bullshit.
talking about duck worker unions, and you know it's the mood is very somber. It's definitely not a party. So
Aww.
nobody will blame you if you want to duck out of here, especially now that you have a box of
Yeah, a box of info
yep.
that we need to take back to the house.
So Fatima basically bids you a farewell if you want to duck out. She
Yep.
reiterates that Evie knows how to contact her at the college where she's still a student.
Yes, with an excellent cover name.
Yep, that's right.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
No,
You're aware we can't have nice things.
I thought that was Mercer.
Everyone.
That's right.
there you
We're
go.
already starting to use the
Mercer.
scapegoat.
Why'd you pick that
No.
name?
He doesn't get credit for my genius.
Yeah. You do get addressed as classmates lead before you head. Yep, I need a lead.
Shitty person.
Okay, I have an off topic question. I don't know if I would even know the answer to this, but here's what I'm wondering. If Lady Valenciano is actually a fate witch, how the fuck is she affecting things on that scale without exploding?
I think it's 'cause there's so
Something's up.
many of them.
I will point out that at this point, this is all your theories.
I know.
So I'm neither going to confirm nor deny. You decided she was a fate witch.
There's fate witch something here. I specifically have something in here that lets me hide that I'm a fate witch for other stray guys. So I'm gonna start using that shit because now I'm paranoid.
Good. Good.
Anyway,
There may or may not be fate witches here, but
I mean,
you're paranoid.
there's fate witches.
There will be witches here.
Yeah. You do get gifted a bottle of wine for the road. You do get wine
Yay.
It is a good one though.
that drinking it in the street will probably get you accosted by the winter sun if they see you, because public drinking is forbidden after dark.
Just
So-
don't open it and you're fine. That's how it works, right?
Basically. Open container laws. This is my cloak,
Yeah,
officer.
put it- You have to put it in a bag and drag it behind you
Yep.
like 4 feet
Yep.
out of your reach.
It's the bottle is just dragging.
They put it in the brown paper bag so that you can't see that it's booze. But don't sell booze and put it in the brown paper bag so everyone knows what you can anyway. I don't understand.
Yep.
They just poured all the booze in these bottles that say XXX on them for some reason.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, the jug with the little finger handle. Like the
I'll
moosh.
find a ghost to carry it.
You say the word, Evie,
Oh, that was the other thing.
and you hear the beginning of a story in the distance.
No.
Yep.
What was the other thing?
Oh, I thought of the
Her
other
ghost?
thing that I wanted to
Okay.
do with him as fire.
Oh yeah.
Fire sprites.
Oh yeah.
Basically his stick children, but make fire sprites.
All
I can
right. All
have
right.
them run off and set several things on fire at once. Within a limited range, obviously.
No. Let's see that I didn't have that fun. You crack that demon open, and you better make sure it's gonna go for whatever you
Yep.
want. Yeah, because
Yeah,
it
that-
might just if it's close enough to you, it'll go. What's up? And you're like,
Yeah.
no.
Those twig children, once you crack them open,
Yeah.
they're like, well, I birthed you, child. Now you will do whatever. But you control fire,
Yeah.
so they don't have a mind of their own.
They do what I tell them.
I mean, I just sent John an encyclopedia of Russian fairy tale characters.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
We'll have fun with this.
I imagine they look like the little things from Howl's Moving Castle.
yeah, the shooting stars.
Yeah, the little shooting stars.
Yeah. I have a book of fairy tales that I actually brought with me. One of the few things
Nice.
I brought from Canada because it's the illustrations in it are beautiful and it's all in French, but it's like fairy tales from all over the world, like basically the real fairy tale, like the Little Mermaid and is this, and it's the no punched pulled
Yeah.
bullshit.
She dead.
Yeah.
None's happy.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
kills herself at the end version.
Yeah, basically. She becomes sea foam because that makes it so much better, right?
Oh yeah.
As a child, that made it so much better. It was like, she's dead. Yeah, but she's sea foam. Yeah, but she's dead.
Yeah,
She's
I had
in a
a
bloody pile.
Mm-hmm.
I had a book specifically of Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales when I was a kid, and they were all the real versions of them. So it's like Little Mermaid kills herself, Little Match Girl is dead.
Yep.
Like everyone's dead.
Yep. There's like Rapunzel and that shit, and there's like pictures of her dude with his like popped
With
eyes.
his eyes gouged out.
Yeah, like he's wearing like the fucking blindfold.
Yeah, and there's like blood coming. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll bring it over at some point. What made me think of it is that there's Russian fairy tales in it, and the pictures are all amazing. They're also like, you know, as a kid, it was like, this is amazing. Also, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
There's
The
like
deadlights
one with like a
amazing.
little blue man that lives in the grass, and it's like, oh, like those pictures are pretty. It's kind of creepy. Like this old dude in a coat who lives in the grass.
Yeah, I had a book that was it was only Snow White, but it was like the OG version of Snow White, you know, where she's a dumb bitch who dies like 3 times, but she can't not open the door for people. But like the
Or you
last
say no.
illustration in it, when I think, like, I don't know if my parents still have this book, but basically, like, the last illustration in it, because it does the whole thing about how they get the witch and they punish her by putting the iron shoes in the fire and then making her dance at the wedding and then throwing her out in the snow afterwards. So, like, the last illustration in this thing was, like, a dwarf singing in front of, like, an opening in like a tower that very clearly led down like a dark stairway with like the iron shoes lying in the snow and then like sort of like bloody footprints leading away from it with the like with the happy wedding in the background behind the singing dwarf, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, like that's metal as fuck.
That's right. All right.
Anyway,
So, you get back to the house. You don't get accosted whether or not you're drinking in public because it doesn't happen.
Well, we've already taken those people, so
This is Leeso. The streets are clean. So,
also Jimena doesn't get drunk really, so she could drink in the street all she wanted and no one would know the difference.
yeah.
Yeah, same.
yeah, there's 3
Yeah.
of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
between the two of you,
I'm just passing the bottle back and forth.
right, you can only do the disorderly part of it, never the drunk. So,
Yeah.
and that's by
It
choice.
is
Yeah.
a curse.
That's right. You can fight that tide as much as you want. You get back to the house. It's pretty late. Marlena's already in bed. That's not unusual. Is anybody else still up?
Jenny took the time to heal a tooth back into a woman. But isn't waking her up anytime soon. But she's gonna. When she does wake up, she's got lots of stories to tell.
You find a corner in the cellar for her. It's not going to be, it's not going to be an inn, but there's some straw. You can, so she's not lying directly on the floor. You can still keep her shackled there.
Jenny has bedrolls and everything in between, so it's like,
It's true.
There you go.
Like a vine around her ankle.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. She can't go anywhere.
Yep. So you can keep her restrained so that she doesn't go and drink all your wine. Because you actually have a wine cellar. I know Xenia doesn't care about that, but
Xenia's like, this is
Jimena might.
that weak
Jimena
Castilian
cares.
shit.
Yeah.
Jimena doesn't really get drunk, but she does love the taste of wine.
Mm-hmm. There's all the perks. It actually came with the house. There's like a fully
Nice.
fully
stocked everything.
wine cellar. There's a couple missing bottles here and there, but by and large, it will look in much worse shape when you get off your lease.
Are you opening every package of cookies in the world?
This is why I kept muting and I forgot to this time. I'm making Glen's lunch.
Oh, okay.
You're like, I was hungry for chips, but I didn't know which flavor I wanted, so I opened like 50 bags, all different, and I ate 2 of each.
Just a little.
I mean, that's kind of her MO.
Yeah, I do that.
So.
Are you related to my mom? Because
It's not far off.
yeah, there's an entire shelves in their pantry that's like bags of chips, all open.
That basket.
Also, then I get tired of things and they'll sit around forever because I've eaten, a quarter of the package of cookies I got and was like, nah.
We're done with this.
So yeah, she sets her up with somewhere at least comfortable to keep a body. Make sure she's not going to get away anywhere, and leaves her pitcher of water, bread and cheese and things. Have to be kind.
Yep.
Have to be kind.
Which may be weirder, at least at the beginning.
And she wakes up and her tooth is back in her head.
Yep.
She's like, wait. It was all a bad dream.
Well, there's a chance, because she was on drugs.
That's true. I did drug her first.
Yeah.
They didn't work exactly.
There's
how
a
I wanted
chance.
Could have
them
been a
to.
terrible dream.
She will seriously question how much of that shit was real and how much she actually talked. So you might be able to play on that.
We should all just have
We could,
everything happen.
since she never saw me, I could be like, oh, I'm totally one of on your side. We rescued you.
Well,
What'd you find out?
she never really got a good look on you or Xenia because she just saw Genia's feet.
Mm-hmm.
She only saw my hands.
Yep. And part of Jimena's face.
We'd make a terrible monster. Your hands, my feet, her face.
No, that'd be amazing.
That's right.
I just imagine you two being like Master Blaster. Like she just sits on your shoulders.
As a raven, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it many times.
That's right. That's right. As a bear to maintain the legend.
Well, it switch sides of the bear.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't ride his shoulders as a bear. He rides mine.
Who runs Leeso? Master Blaster runs Leeso.
Yeah, and when it's the bear, it'd be like, oh, I see who's calling the shots. I'm like, yeah, bear. Just point down. You're like, is that cool with you? Huh? The bear says no.
Yes.
The bear relents.
Bear spoken.
That's right. You heard the bear.
Yep.
What? I didn't understand. You heard the bear. The bear has spoken.
Well, next morning arrives. It's very clear what's missing from this house because there's no Augustina. Normally, You would wake up and there would be just aromas fighting.
I've eaten my cold gruel. I'm out front doing push-ups.
I was gonna say, there definitely would be food. It's just not Augustina food.
Basically.
And it's very, like...
I've used the same fork that was in that woman's mouth the night before to fish out pickled items. And I'm like,
Yep.
love home.
That's right.
Love home
Germs make you stronger.
That's right.
The food Jenya makes is definitely something you'd be eating out, like, in the barracks.
Yeah, which I'm like, oh, good. You put it in a spoon, put it in your face hole. You don't even need that. You just put it in the
This is
cup.
what you wake up
shove it
to.
into your
There's
mouth.
there's basically
Meanwhile, Jimena's over here like Howl's moving castle eggs and bacon in a pan. You're like, wait, you could cook this whole time? Like, yeah, but she was doing it for us. Like, what do you mean? Like, what about me makes you think that I can't cook for myself? I eat literally all the time.
like I would have died as a
Yeah.
teenager.
See, if someone else is cooking, then you have more eating time.
Right?
I
It's like, I
get
spend
one-
a lot of time on the run by myself.
I succeed with one raise to steal a piece of bacon.
Mail your bacon.
Yep.
Jenny's is very vegetable forward.
Oh yeah, no, and that's I just crunch it up in there.
So is this
Like
like,
that
a
goes.
everyone make their own type deal?
Oh,
There's
Jenny
no,
makes for
there's no
everybody.
Augustina, so
Okay,
Yeah,
people
I mean, you
people
can
are,
have some.
Yeah.
I probably also crack like a raw egg in there. I'm just like, whoop, just whatever.
I'm trying to think of
Cannot
if I
cannot
have
say
any
that it isn't
specialties.
slightly burnt because no one ever said that Jimena was a good chef.
Just that she
just knows
she
that.
knows
And
that
cook.
if it's cooked a little longer,
I
you're
cook
less
for
likely to
myself
have the
when I
shits.
was
So,
Yep.
all right.
no, because you're not taught anything.
Okay. Oh
mean-
no! If I was near fire.
Well, you
I mean,
never
I'm
know.
sure Veronica is baking bread because that's her deal.
Yep.
And then Jenny's got some weird vegetable stew going on.
I probably just hang around and try to help where help is needed.
Ricardo's assisting.
I've effectively
Poor
become
man.
the like Rottweiler that their owners don't take good care of, and I'm just barking at people who walk by in the street. just upset and frustrated.
Jimena just keeps throwing you bacon. Be like, here, eat. You'll feel better.
It's not,
Like
it's
an
not what I
actual
want. I want love.
Right.
I want structure.
While you're in the middle of your morning little ritual, communal breakfast, which is fairly new for this group, but
Yeah.
pretty pleasant.
I mean, before this, I was stowed on a boat, and before that, I was basically kept in a house
Yep.
and brought out to do parlor tricks.
You
with
had
my
you
feet
had
magic.
a you had a cook in your house. They used to cook for you.
Water.
No, 7-Up.
Yeah, Ricardo is helping, and
Actually, I would like the water. For
I don't know how you're gonna drink the Yeti. That's gross.
We all have our proclivities.
Drink the Yeti.
Sounds like an energy drink.
100% pure Yeti.
right.
Get the furry.
pure amount of fresh Yeti.
No!
Ah!
Nope, too far.
I don't like it.
That's all that's left.
Just kill it.
But there's no more room in my cup.
Well,
wanna-
drinks a
Yeah,
sip of
just
your-
drink from the
From
bottle.
yeah.
Do it.
Chug,
Seriously?
chug,
I was
chug,
gonna
chug.
say just drink enough from your cup that you can fill the rest of the bottle.
Drink the Yeti.
Arrest you fucking heathens. Oh, so we got boba yesterday, but the boba was too big for the straws.
Oh, yeah.
So there was a lot of very hard sucking happening.
Yeah.
And I really hurt myself. Where in the back where my wisdom teeth were removed, where the stitches.
Tony's
were
vibrating.
where the line of the stitches were like.
She ruined it.
It
She was
really
like,
hurt.
I'm gonna make this joke beforehand. I was like, oh, you don't let me have any fun.
Good.
She knows you.
Yeah.
She doesn't want you to have fun. It's a thing.
But yeah, like it still like hurts.
What?
Aw.
I'm sorry.
I managed to
knocked everything.
like create 3 or 4 different notes when I was trying to pass one of the boba through the. I think there was actually 2 or 3.
It sounded like he was playing the sousaphone
Yeah,
Right.
with his nose.
yeah. It was pretty incredible.
Have you done the thing where like you're like, I'm gonna get you, and then you do the like it went too far.
I'm always paranoid about that when I'm having boba.
So you gotta aim for the cheek.
Yep.
No, eventually I figured out if I just massaged it up the straw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taste the Yeti.
I thought we were past this
No.
already.
No.
I'm gonna make a whole fucking campaign
God.
for this thing.
Tony. Tony is a full social media campaign
Starting the
ready
marketing.
to go.
Starting the marketing deep.
Right. The logo's
Damn it.
already
Yeti
made.
deep.
Right. That's one of the winter flavors.
Yeah.
It took us a long time, but we got here.
Oh, here we are. No, don't do it. Don't yak on your character sheet.
I'm not gonna yak on my character sheet.
Good, because it's Yeti.
I wish I could do memes like in real time because Tony has the
as,
the
like Jaren?
equations face right now. Like it's all.
I was trying to remember what the Himalayan version is. Is that
I thought that was the Yeti.
Yeah, that is the Yeti.
that is the actual Yeti?
Yeah, that's
the
actual Yeti.
Because PCH
Yeah.
or PNH is
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Yeah, Pacific Northwest is Bigfoot.
And or Sasquatch.
Yeti, Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Thank
There
you. Yeah, Squatch, Yeti.
Abominable
the-
snowman.
the-
Maybe that's
Yeah,
what I was.
Abominable Snowman is the westernized version
yeah.
Oh, Yeti. Got it.
of
Yeah.
the Yeti.
All right. Yeah.
If it's white, it's a Yeti. If it's brown, it's a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
If it looks like this, it's a,
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
No, I saw it.
You know it.
Yeah.
I don't need to explain.
Yeah.
You knew.
Yeah.
You know exactly.
She can't
Except
even see
you,
it. She
Amanda.
did. No, I think she knew. I think she knew better than.
Well, you know the one. You know the sassy look.
Yeah.
Like, oh hey girl.
The sassy
Yeah.
squatch. It's
Yeah, the sass squatch.
looks like
Yeah.
looks like a heroine comic. Looks like a comic book heroine on the cover art.
Is it chewing on bark or serving you a snow cone?
And then it's a Yeti.
You know, you know there was no sound in there, but there was like clearly a whispered like, "Do you like what you see?" Like from that video.
In the snow, there was one set of footprints. It was the Yeti inside you.
Yeti was carrying
Taste the
you.
Yeti.
Suddenly there was one set of footprints and drag mark. What does that mean?
That's
That
when
was
the
when-
Yeti drinks you.
Right. That's when the Yeti knocked you out to drag you to its cave.
Because the Yeti is also a caveman. Don't question the lore of the Yeti.
Drink Yeti.
That's right.
God damn it,
Sasquatch your thirst.
Amanda! You
For
know
the
that
makers
goes.
of Red Stripe.
You know, as much as there's disdain for it, you know that has to go on the word cloud now. Drink
Yeah.
the Yeti.
Are you keeping up the word cloud?
It's now part of the lore.
Nope.
I mean, I've been writing stuff in here. I don't know if I'm consistent.
So much things. So many things that belong in the word cloud. Our cloud is no longer a cloud. It's more of a tempest.
At this point,
Right.
Word tempest.
I love it.
oh,
It's just a whole word like storm.
It's a
front.
word front, yeah.
your word front.
A front, yeah. AFF.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Word
Wait,
crimes.
what's that?
Word crimes. I like word crimes.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, man, you gonna sing us a song?
The word for the big storms that happen. Not when you like. Never mind.
My brain went nor'eastern.
No,
Like a
I'm
mael-
thinking of the.
Like a maelstrom?
No, like there's this. Never mind. Doesn't matter.
But now I need to know what the word is.
The column. You know, like when you're looking out to see like the.
Oh, the
Not
actual
a-
funnel in a tornado?
No. It's there's a word. I never
I
mind.
thought it was maelstrom.
No, there's a word.
The maelstrom's technically the drain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this is now circular.
Cyclone,
I thought it was
monsters,
maelstrom. No, no.
tornadoes,
It's like
hurricanes.
storm column or.
Not cyclone?
No, it's like an actual, not a tornado,
like a
like an
storm front,
actual
but it's
Okay.
cloud formation.
Oh, you have no fucking idea, man.
Yeah, no, I don't know either.
Water spout?
No.
I just live here. It's fine.
Whirlwind. I'm starting to look up stuff.
Now,
So
Yeti
we're having
tornado.
cute family dinner,
Yep.
Breakfast.
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 Yeah,
Wakey wakey, egg and bakey.
that's right.
So wait, what are we doing?
There is a rap at the door while you're having your family time.
I'm barking at whoever it is. I don't.
Oh, the mailman is here again.
Oh no! I put the too small vest on, with the no shirt underneath, and I slick the hair back, so it looks like Ricardo's.
Oh yeah.
And then his name's Ricardo, right? Yeah, it's Ricardo.
Seriously, what?
Kush's hair isn't slicked back.
However he wears his hair was how I modeled it.
Our Rethel dog is getting old. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't recognize people anymore.
Sorry.
We'll have to take him out and put him out of his misery.
No, you're right. It's Yerg. Yeah.
Oh, we got a white clap from John. Lightning has struck.
You know he's your dog. You know he's your vestin. You know what you gotta do.
He's your vested.
He is blonde.
It's your responsibility.
You gotta take him on out.
Fucking.
I'm sorry, Rethel.
Old Jurgen.
Don't even bring up old Yeller right now.
Oh no.
I'm stressed out. I'm fragile.
sorry.
I'm fragile.
What is happening?
Woo! Okay.
But yeah, I put on
Fine.
the cute little vest and the little bow tie, which no one knows where I got the bow tie. And I open the door and I go, "Yeah."
You're basically face to face
Oh.
with a fairly bewildered Landreville.
I go, and I like grab him by the shirt and kind of pull him in and close the door.
Poor man gets whiplash.
And then like I stop him after the door closes and sort of like set him, and I take off the thing and put my hand like, hello.
Just get out of the outfit. No explanation.
Yeah.
It's only for when we open the door.
Yeah, and like if this, I gotta keep up appearances. Besides me prowling the yard, going, dirty, bork, bork, bork.
Right. Mailman is here again. Gonna have to drag Rethel into the side bedroom.
You know what he smells like. He's been delivering mail for 10 years.
Rethel, stop!
He hasn't broken in yet.
I'm on a Zoom call.
Oh no. No.
I'm trying to present. Shania, get Rethel away. Like I just need to get through this PowerPoint right now.
Give us some treats or something. Just shut him up.
Squeaks a toy, throws it out the front door.
Close the door.
Shuts the yeah. You figured it out. One day he'll learn how to turn this doorknob.
It's all right.
Lock the door. Anyway, Jenny
I know
calls out.
which window you're at.
Skunk
It's
ape.
gonna be
Thank
right
you,
outside.
Amanda, for your
I have
contribution.
not heard of a
To
skunk
the
ape
lexicon.
before.
Skunk ape.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pretty
Barmano. Oh my god. Yeah.
Skunk ape is specifically the Florida Sasquatch.
Of
I mean,
course
that-
it is.
I mean, that
course
makes so
it
much
is.
sense.
That makes the most fucking
A
sense.
fucking course rabbit will give us all the synonyms for a squatch, but she can't help you with your water spout storm.
I don't
Situation.
know. I might be thinking of something that doesn't exist.
Cloud funnel?
No,
Sharknado.
no,
Sorry.
no, I can't. It's
It's
fine.
dead now.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
We're past
Jenya
it.
calls out to Rethel, who's at the door?
Oh, Landreville has already been pulled inside at this point.
Yeah, well.
Is the house big enough that it requires this, or
Well,
because I
Is it the house we bought or the house we were told to stay
No,
in?
because we have two houses.
well, I mean, that depends if you stayed at the other house or not. I mean, this is the house where you buried people inside.
So
Like this
probably-
is,
So that was my house.
yes.
Okay. And my house is the one that has the cellar full of wine
Yep.
with a bitch in it.
Yep.
So then we're at my
the
house.
cat.
Yes.
You gotta feed the cat.
Yeah.
So I would think
Go
it was
water the
big
cat.
enough that there was like an entryway
Yep.
before they hit the kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
So yes.
They were like, some random man off the street.
I'll set another place at the table.
Oh, she feed you.
Yeah, whether or not I'm me, apparently.
How's work?
How's
busy.
your boyfriend?
Oh, your husband.
Busy.
Yeah,
Busier. Not in a bad way.
yeah.
This morning,
Okay,
I have some information.
okay. We got all kinds of that.
Oh yeah, no. Did anybody bring up that box yet?
Which box?
The
Yeah,
box
even
that we
even
have.
in Jimena
Oh.
got the box.
Sweet.
I
keep sitting on it.
Now that
I don't know what it is,
it's
but
a
I can-
small box.
it's like a document.
Challenge accepted.
So you sit on it and immediately it breaks.
It's a dog cat. So you open the box and Rethel sits in it. It's like I'm trying to take the documents out.
Sit.
No, Ruffle, no. Down. Squirt. But instead, he just waves his hair like it's sea spray.
It's like a
Damn it.
fucking
It's one of those
L'Oreal commercial. And he's just
It's all right. Maybe I'm born with it.
It's one of those Turkish fans. They like swimming.
It's one of the water cats. Damn.
Cartier Frutrice.
That's right.
yep.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Kasha, I told you not to let him on the table.
Yeah.
Amazing. It only took a second. Like I just whirled around to grab the bread and then
See, now I want to watch the episodes that are basically this. It's like the entire
yeah.
game session, but reinterpreted.
Yeah,
but
this
it's
is
Rethold, and he's just wearing a cat headband.
It's just the stupid ears.
without a shirt.
Yeah.
Just like on the table. Like
You have to subscribe to a higher tier to get the part where he starts bathing himself.
Oh god, no.
Oh,
Rethel,
man.
there's guests. Go do that elsewhere.
No, I want them to shrimp.
That's right. This mean I trust you.
I'm showing you my belly.
That's right.
Don't touch it. Only
Don't
once.
touch it.
Rabbit, I made a face. An inviting face of mischief while holding my hands out ever so slightly as if, come, pet my belly.
Oh no. Amanda, I've experienced both. I'm not sure if seeing it or the verbal description was better.
Glad we're recording this. Now we have evidence that actually happened.
Oh, yeah, no,
Oh,
I'm here for the bit.
Oh my god, no.
I'm fucking crying.
Too much cat.
Like, what the fuck is Laundry doing here?
He's watching in horror.
Right? It's like, what has this city done to you?
It's messed us all up, guys.
Nope, he's left.
Yeah, he's gone.
I'm sorry to have intruded.
Jumped through the window, rolled into the yard.
He gets back to the governor.
Jesus.
You're good.
You're fine.
You're good. He gets back to the governor and
I
he's
didn't
like,
drink
what did you...
anything.
My love, what did you see? He's like, Leeso's lost.
Yeah, he's like, that's...
We
We
need to...
failed.
Yeah.
Pack your things, we're leaving. Shit, son. How do you recover from this?
So what, yeah, what's going on?
What does this information
Well,
have?
Landreville basically first looks very bemused by the whole communal kitchen business, and sort of grabs a seat because now he has no choice, and says, well, we're still trying to wrap our head around how far everything goes, but one thing I can tell you this morning is that at least 2 of our targets are at each other's throats
Oh, wonderful.
because of some really unfortunate incident that happened last night.
No, it was quite fortunate. That place was an affront to the All-Father.
You get a chuckle from Landreville, and he's like, so I hear.
And mediocre taste.
There's a jar full of coins on the mantle. I won all that breaking a man's arm.
Even though she lied.
I did not lie.
They let you... You said 2 places.
I did not say 2 places. I said in 2 seconds.
Oh, something like that.
You can't break a man's arm in 2 seconds.
Come here.
Oh no.
Challenge accepted.
He's got that look again.
He's already got half.
So it sounds like not just in like IN, comma TWO, but like INTO seconds.
Rethel is now.
Both.
He now wants to beat that record.
Of course he does.
Like one of my favorite lines in.
No, he's just holding a stick, like bending it slightly, trying to figure out what motion would require.
He's doing tests.
Yeah.
Like one of Iron Bull's favorite line from Dragon Age. It's like, what's the most parts you've cut a man in one swing? I'm up to 3, but I have ideas.
No, my favorite line from Dragon Age is, "Well, fart me a lullaby.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
It will never not be."
Yeah. Now Dreville says.
It's not the type of scold I am, but I think I know somebody.
Somehow you've managed to tarnish both of these people at the same time. Nyberg's establishment got painted as an unsecure den of depravity, because why else would the Winter Sun take action and try to restore order? The Winter Sun just looked like a bunch of thugs getting caught in bar fights. There are quite a few patrons having come on record as witnessing the Winter Sun fighting with each other, drinking, cavorting.
Mm-hmm. I do remember that.
Which Rafaela is going into full damage control this morning and is trying to find the parties responsible, whether they died in the fire or not. But in order to save her own skin, she's more or less throwing Nyberg out to pasture and says that whatever happened, her troops must have had good reason to use force at one of these game dens.
The shitty ass TGI Fridays.
He's pushing back, but he's also losing favor fairly quickly.
Oh, good.
I'm sure there will be some official tale being spun about this sooner or later, but right now it's hard to counter the evidence when so many people left this place, including a gentleman who was still in pain, but from a shattered, I don't know, hand, arm.
It was his wrist.
Well,
He was no gentleman.
he did throw a lot of choice words at the Winter Sun.
I'm sure they were all pronounced incorrectly.
He did not have a very good
There's like an eyebrow sort of rising at like the insistence.
He needs to keep his arm elevated and keep the splint I put on it.
It will take some work to spin this into something, anything other than two prominent citizens of Leeso going at each other and then blaming the other for that failing, which, from what I'm reading, does not fly in this city. You might have some momentum here.
We're just getting started. We need to go after the propaganda machine.
Well, if
I've
you
only pulled out the tooth in the last 12 hours.
I put it back.
You did other things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of which, and Zinnia gets up and then makes a plate and heads down to the basement cellar.
So
Spanish lunch will be like, Should I ask?
Right.
Like,
No.
No. The question doesn't
Yeah.
even cross his lips at
Yeah.
this point. He sort of sees it happen. He obviously takes note, and there's a bit of a question mark. But
it's like, trust us, it's better that you don't know.
I
I've read this.
fully believe this.
I suppose we should actually try to decide what we're doing next.
So, Rethold, Rethold just wants combat.
We know what you want.
But I'm like, yeah, is there an opportunity to go out as the Winter Suns again and sow more discord to just paint the Winter Suns as dumb? Because it sounds like this incursion is slightly swaying towards the Winter Suns' favor, and that they're further alienating a foreign citizen. Or if we should just jump into the fun stuff and let Zhenya and myself get captured as outsiders so that we can get to wherever everyone's being held and then break out and murder everyone.
I'm not there, but that's my plan.
Why not both? If the two of you get captured,
I think I need to go to the opera.
Or we could all go to the opera.
The opera.
Just John Wilkes Booth this motherfucker. Just get up in there.
you're not sure
Forward
if there
to right.
is an actual production
Forward.
going right now.
No.
We can look into that.
Yeah,
You hear
I'll look
Zhenya
into it.
downstairs spit to ward off bad luck when you're like, we can all go to the opera.
I
In
was
both
only
games.
saying that I was going, but
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, if you wanna.
That's okay. Rethold invited himself on my journey too.
I don't have to go. It's fine. If you want me to go, it's okay. I just, I know there's going to be violence there, so that's why I want to go.
Yeah.
And I figured I could start some violence there, so that's why I want to go.
There, as you're exchanging words there's mention of the box, right? Like as another
yes.
possible avenue.
Yes, let's open this box right now. I want to see what's in there.
What's in the box?
Well, if you look through the box, and I don't know if any of you would have the previous night, Evine and Jimena, you're the ones who received it, so I don't know if you took any action prior to now with this box.
I think Evine definitely would have looked
Yeah,
through
I
that,
don't know
right?
that Jimena would have. She would have probably left it to Evine.
Okay,
Yeah, what's in the
Evine.
box, Evine?
roll me a wit scholarship roll, or if you have a different combination you'd like to use, I can allow that too if you make that pitch.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
I might do a changes thing.
Oh, DoorDash actually. Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Oh,
Maybe I'll
good.
start my own violence with blackjack and hookers.
Sorry, I don't know what
Are you
happened.
okay?
I don't know how that happened, but somehow,
And Evine.
It just slipped.
yeah,
Oh,
it was like in my hand the whole time. I don't know.
Where we
it said
pre-
no.
where we pretend we're
It knows you're using your computer.
Winter Suns and go down to the docks and just start parties.
Jealous.
I mean, Jimena's down to do that.
Ooh.
To do what?
Nice.
Start our own violence
Oh,
Yeah.
with blackjack and hookers and Evine
I mean,
and Jimena.
you like I
Go
said,
out for a little bit of the ultraviolet.
That's right.
Landreville basically told you, like, you got some momentum. Like, if you start some more shit, it's gonna get harder and harder to cover up, right? Like, it's harder to spin multiple occurrences.
Should we make an itinerary?
I mean, we need one.
8
What was the
a.m.
roll,
Ultraviolence.
Amanda?
9 a.m. Maloko Plus.
Evine,
I thought the whole thing was just
Oh,
blocked
sorry, I
out.
muted.
Ultraviolence.
9.
9.
9.
There's a fair amount in there. Like, it's all disconnected. It's just like observations, right? Like on how the Escaras sort of keep touch with each other. There's a few locations where like dead drops probably happen. But the more juicy parts of this box sort of dig into what happens when people disappear. you sort of like piece all this together. It's basically just reports of like so and so disappeared, the relative of one of our agents, or one of our agents went missing from here. Witnesses saw this happen, and now it's your turn to have the mathematical formula meme as you're sitting in the middle of the night, like sort of mapping all of this out. With 9, you're fairly convinced you have where those people were taken to. It's a small church in the northern part of town. Because you're tracing this, you're like, well, they wouldn't go like fully across town with prisoners where they would risk getting seen. They gotta have, they gotta have like a spot that's communal, that's easy to get, and this is the location you meet. And some of the reports have seen some of the Escaras like go to and from this church. Like there's an inordinate amount of them that seem to go praying
Well, there you
there.
go. I think we should do this before we do anything with
Is
propaganda people.
is Evine gonna go be a Julie?
Are you gonna pretend to be a Julie?
Oh yeah.
I feel like they would all know who is though. Like I don't think it'd be.
Yeah, but she is a master of disguise,
Oh, that's true.
and she knows exactly what one looks like.
That's true.
Yeah, you got one that went missing.
And we got her name, and
I could
That's
probably
true.
find a way to do the rest.
Yeah, and
Do some thread searching.
if you want somebody on the inside too, if Genia gets taken, Evine, you're 95% sure this is where she would land.
Mm-hmm.
Is at that church.
I would also want to tell, since they asked, find out where they're being taken and not go get them. Once I figure that out, I'd want to send some sort of message letting them know.
Yep. Oh, perfect.
And letting them know that we're going to do something about it.
Yeah. By the morning, I think you would get a message to the house back that says, let us know what you have planned. We'll run surveillance in the meantime. So yeah, Evine is free to share all that information that she worked most of the night on, because it did take a few hours to unpack all of this.
Now I'm wondering how do they get those people there? Anyway. So we have go out as Winter Suns to mess with them more. Let Ruthold and Sinner be captured. Go to the opera ? We've already looked at the box. Now church. Free people? What are we doing with church?
Well,
say we just burn it down.
Genia
I like that.
Genia wants to get captured, maybe,
Yeah.
to go with it. There's also been a suggestion to have Evine masquerade as your prisoner to return. You might be able to combine both ideas by having Evine return with the prisoner.
That sounds like something.
But there's a number of ways you can approach this. I know it's getting late for you, Manda, but before we close, as you're planning for this, there's another rap on the door.
So many raps on the door. Is this one a cat?
I hop
Or a
down off
letter?
the table and I stretch real big.
Yep.
And then I put the little vest back on.
As you stretch, Lanavid does it.
Yeah.
You know.
And my tail flicks in his nose to add insult to injury. And then I open the door and I go, hello!
You're this close to getting embraced the moment your head peeks out the door as you creak it open,
Oh no.
and there stands
Hi, Auntie.
the captain of La Baleine Blanche,
Oh.
accompanied by Ernesto and Magnus on your doorstep.
Okay.
The captain takes off her hat and says, "Oh, good. We have the right address. We came into port this morning."
Oh, good. Didn't we want them to not come into port
I thought so.
or something?
Unless they had something to tell us.
But yeah, now my brain's like, how can we put them to use to sow discord?
Yeah, no, and maybe you amended this. The last note I had on this was that you wanted the ship was to come to port as usual because they land here periodically, so they wouldn't necessarily raise suspicion.
Right.
But they're supposed to stay in dock. Like you didn't want any of the people like sort of spreading around like on their own. They're supposed to stay in dock and wait for
Right.
orders. That's the last thing I wrote. If you
Yeah, no,
wanted
that
to do
sounds
this
So
different,
either way, it would still be weird that they came to us if that was the original plan.
No, this is fine. They came as a team.
Yeah.
And you know.
Yeah.
It would take likely as many winter suns to take them down as it would a chunk of us. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's safe. It's safe enough. It's fine. And so yeah, I kind of like usher them all in and slam the door. And I'm like, Jenya's not going to be very happy with how easy it is to find us.
Ernesto sort of like looks about and is like, well, if that makes you feel better, we had help.
Who helped you?
Right? Like, who?
What?
I take off the vest.
Magnus knows this is a sign of aggression.
That's
Magnus arches his back.
That's right. His hair goes on end. He's making himself look bigger.
Not sure if fighting or just foreplay.
Yes.
No
Okay,
one
now
ever
what's
is. Not with that one.
Actually, one of my thoughts was to give a few moments ago I was like, oh, because we were talking about that goofus that you broke his wrist, and I was like, maybe I should give him to Magnus as a present and be like, show this this creature how to be a proper man.
Teach him.
But I'm like, is that
How to be a true Vested.
is that a present to Magnus or is that a punishment? And I'm like, a little bit of both.
It's a test.
That's right.
Pain is pleasure after all.
Yeah, something like that.
He says,
But anyway, yeah, we drag him in. We're like, yeah, all right.
yeah, the captain basically says, we thought there might be some urgency with the notes, and we figured whatever you have planned, we have a better chance laying it down since we already had to change our approach once. We want to make sure we're in the best position to support anything you say. Since you gave us an urgent, hey, stay in port, you're here on business, just maintain appearances call, we thought it best to clarify. We may have gotten a little help from your, I'm not sure how you really, maybe he's your butler. He's been relaying messages between the ships.
What?
Xavier?
Xavier.
Oh.
Dastardly little man.
He's all right.
I'm like, it's terrible here. They have outlawed fun.
It's true.
And I've
It's
not,
true.
and I've only been allowed to have a very little fun while we're here because it would just prove their point that we are mindless savages, and it's a damn shame when you can't do that.
Magnus just plops in a seat, looking defeated, like a sad dog.
Oh, there you
When
go.
she
Now,
sees him
and
look,
just
he's
eats
fat to
food.
men, it's like bacon.
Yeah.
Like, come here, Magnus. I have a
Just-
hole dug in the front yard where we can both lay, looking dejected.
Shinya left us a
Yeah.
ditch.
That's right.
Magnus is just like, well, any mayhem you want to raise, you tell me. I will help. Meanwhile, Ernesto is in one of the windows, just holding the cigarette. And he's looking outside, and he's like, you just hear like a disgraceful.
oh my God.
Exactly what I've been saying for 2 days.
So I'm getting dressed for a little more fancy. Because I mean, obviously we're not going to do it right now, but I'm going to go out and check out this house up
Okay.
the house. But I want to say before I leave that the idea of having Evine pretend to be an Ascara and being in prisoner sounds great.
You can toss Zhenya in jail, and Evine might get some insight into how the Ascaras talk to each other.
Bum, bum, bum. Speaking
And how
of
we
those,
can disrupt them.
Yep.
And make them no longer a cult.
And then Ruffled could run along with, I guess, the crew
I
of the
will.
band.
I will go wherever
I still think they're a cult, but let's
I
go.
am told to go.
I'm thinking of rolling a resolve plus empathy to try to dissuade her thoughts on people and push the lessons of kindness and honesty.
Oh,
for
sure.
Olivia?
Yeah.
This is probably going to be a long con,
Yeah, but I gotta start now.
but you roll
And
me that roll, and I will keep a rolling tally.
And it comes with food.
Yeah, she's very subdued this morning.
She can't figure out what's real.
Yeah, there's a lot of like,
I also have 6 dots in resolve.
She's like, I
Yeah.
am still a prisoner.
Yeah.
So that part checks out.
she's very guarded because at this point, and I don't know how much of that Zhenya would gather because the subtleties of it, you're not used to lying, so the double speak, not really your game,
No.
but she
It doesn't have to be lies, though.
is
Yeah,
unsure
but she's
how
still-
much of it was real.
I don't understand nuance.
She's also unsure exactly what she shared.
So I'm really annoyed because I just rolled 2 10s, 2 9s, 2 8s, and 2 7s.
Oh wow.
And a 2.
Yep. All in twos.
I think you can re-roll at least one of those.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
you can
and my 10s explode.
explode the
Your
tens. Yeah.
tens explode.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5.
Like. Yeah,
Another
Rethold's a simple tool. Feel free to apply him where you think he'll be useful.
Well,
Wow.
Yeah.
Magnus shares your disdain for how things are done here. If you do choose to tell him about the good deed you did the previous night, burning that house of offense,
Oh, it at any opportunity, it becomes a saga. Like, I haven't had a chance to actually like tell a proper story in months, and yeah, like I'll just chew up the whole like morning, being like, this place was Dave and Buster's from hell. They had the runes upside down. It was the rune for fish, and it was supposed to be like bravery, right? It was like the fake Asian font, and they had it all tattooed all over them. It was horrible, and I tried to correct them. I tried to tell them, and when it popped off, I told the man, I was like, you should leave now, and all of your friends, and they didn't.
11.
Yep. 11.
11.
All right.
Nice.
So I made a door.
She listens.
You
She
heard,
listens to you.
you heard the good word of our Lord and Savior?
Well, the problem is I don't think she's heard the good word of her Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna be if you're gonna be over here like, well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
teach you.
There's
Yeah.
she doesn't share much
I mean,
right now.
Yeah.
She's at first reluctant to take the food, but as you speak with her and you just hear like talking openly,
You peck at a little.
yeah,
Just to,
you're not
Yeah.
you're not asking anything of her, right? Like you're not trying to pry anything from her. Like you're just sharing. Like she starts to eat
How's the weather?
slowly, and
It's damp down here.
before long, she's cleaned the plate.
I also when I first enter a room and people first notice me, I am perceived as friendly. So
Yep. So I've recorded those 11.
Okay.
So you'll keep adding to those successes as you keep.
It's a nice first roll. Strong
Yeah.
start.
Ask her how she feels about the name Josefina.
I'm pretty sure now that Shinya has her, that's not happening.
That's fine.
no, she's gonna keep her name. My disciples keep their names.
That's fine. That's why they're lame. So I almost got Sally almost to
I
spit
think we
take.
almost all got a turn tonight. Shit.
I think I might have had 2 this night. Jeez.
I weeped at the Rethel the cat dog.
It's like a Chippendales outfit,
Yeah.
but with the cat ears
Yeah.
Yep, just the
and
cat
a bell
ears.
on the bow tie.
Right.
Okay, so for next time, it's Yvonne pretends to be
Olivia.
or an Ascara anyway,
Yes.
A Julie.
and
Well.
takes Shinya as a prisoner. Rethold goes with a bunch of peeps to beam Winter Suns and do bad stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could give them the Winter Suns outfits.
That's what
Yep.
I thought was happening, but that's
Yeah.
And then it keeps happening.
Oh yeah.
Keep the pressure on.
I guess I'm going to the opera. What is Jimena doing?
I mean, I'd probably go with
Yeah.
She's
that.
gonna go race
You gotta be the sergeant.
Yeah, because I'm the only. Well, no, Ernesto could.
Yeah, Ernesto could
With
be.
his
Yeah.
fucking sticker.
It's his scepter of office.
Yeah,
Right, like-
Ernesto will play the shit out of
You're
this.
like- I am in charge. What do you want?
Smoke ring.
Yep. Fucking
Just right in the
caterpillar,
face,
Just
Yeah.
spelling out messages in the.
Just a middle finger. I can see.
Ooh, accused.
How do you get it to make the little middle finger? It's like, I'm very good with my thumb.
That's
all
me
I know.
again sometime. Maybe I will show you.
Did he say cho you? Yes, he did.
Jace. Jace, he did.
You okay? Gesundheit. Huh?
So yes, we will adjourn here for tonight and pick back up with those marching orders. Thank you for recording this because
What else do I do?
So I'll show up less frustrated for Rethel next time.
all good, all good.
2 level.
It's all good channeling. Yes,
Oh no.
get 4 XP.
All right.
So Amanda, before you head to bed, when we talked about the word cloud, and I know it hasn't been maintained in a while, but I found my random document of out of character quotes from us. Some of these I remember what the context was, but many of these I do not.
Nope.
There's some choice ones on here. Is this a bird ladder or a person ladder?
That's from the weird attic.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, with
That
the
took me
bird.
right back. Yep.
Oh,
What's
beautiful
the
thought.
most horrible abomination Lisa can come up with?
Yep.
A bird.
Yep, a
Weird
fucking
bird
demon
thing.
bird.
That's right.
Sorry, guys.
I wasn't asking you. I was asking the banjo, which probably was a turd
Yeah, that fucking
multiple times.
banjo.
Yep.
The classic. I don't want to marry a quail.
Well, a lot of these are
Dresden. Oh yeah, no.
Well,
very
those are
Dresden.
pagan quotes. Specifically.
Yep.
I was asking the banjo.
Then there's some more esoteric ones.
I mean, I'm sure Mr. Quailman was Dr. Quailman was a very nice man.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, there was Mr. Quailman and then Dr. Quailman.
Please.
They were different people.
And I'm sure the quote, "Please, Dr. Quailman is my father," is absolutely on that
Well,
list.
no, wasn't the father like Reverend Quailman?
Or could be.
I
No,
forget.
The father was the professor, so he was the doctor.
Okay.
All right. Don't
So,
trust
Dr.
a
Quailman,
penis
are
you
you
made
okay
yourself.
in
That's right.
Not keen.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, that really makes
Yep.
us believe you right there.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that one was JC because
Sure
it's
helping my head cannon.
"Can someone pass me my dad?"
Oh
Yes.
yes, absolutely.
These are babies, so they're slow.
Oh wow.
I peed all of my charm out.
I remember that one.
I remember this being really funny, and I don't remember what it relates to.
No, I don't remember that one. What was that one?
I mean,
Who
I
knows?
remember the words. I don't remember the context
Oh, gosh.
at all.
Was it maybe after we had those vials
From what?
from Dennis?
Oh, could be.
Possibly.
Oh.
Not all of those are necessarily.
Dresden,
Yeah,
but
Dresden
Dresden
either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't inhale the balls.
Don't inhale the ball.
Magic
That's
items.
fucking boba.
Probably. Magic items don't become more or less erect.
We're awesome.
Bullshit. That's a bold-faced lie.
This is a very professorial Actually, what's the damage on chicken wire? That I sort of remember.
I think that was me also.
Yeah.
Just using chicken wire as a weapon.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't remember why or for what purpose.
Yeah.
Because we were banding up against fairies and we needed.
Oh, that's
Iron.
right. We were
Oh,
building our
yeah.
makeshift makeshift
Yeah.
armor with our
So
hockey
We're
Trying to
sticks.
come up with all kinds of random
you
bullshit.
made a
Yeah.
chicken wire cage.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that's
We
right.
made a fairy. We made a fairy day cage.
Yeah.
That was 90 years ago.
Yes!
Oh, it's still good though.
Oh.
It's still good today. I recognize your game.
So fucking worth it. Oh,
That's right.
Damn.
there's a. Is he becoming human or is he becoming dead? No clue what this relates to,
All the above.
but it was probably a legitimate question at some point.
It probably
Um,
made sense at the time, which you can say about a lot of things that we have said
Yeah,
during
Oh.
these many
There's-
years.
there's a little crispine living in all our breasts.
Yeah, that one doesn't make any sense, but it's
no.
great out of context.
Yep.
Right.
You don't have to look to get peed on.
Okay.
Stop bogarting the
What's a
dicks.
key?
That's right.
What's the aura equivalent of a boner?
Wait, was that somebody using Auspex?
Yeah, I think that was,
Undoubtedly.
yeah, that was most likely for
That was during Masquerade, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last one, which should have gone on the word cloud because this one was a classic, was church on the boob.
Oh, it's classy underwear, yeah. Yeah, like
That
just
must have been
underwear.
about a Mars.
Yeah.
Church under boob.
Yeah, just getting that good church on the boob.
Yeah.
Just enough.
Just a little peek.
Just like a little classy.
It's that
You know.
little curve right under your arm.
A
Right there.
shadow, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So I don't know. Some of these are just lost to time. The meaning, like the fucking Chris Pine quote. I have no
I
idea.
want to go look at my
They're
old
still
journals
beautiful.
now to see if I wrote any on there, because I usually will write them in the margins.
Yeah. That's where they belong.
The further removed we are from these, like I'm surprised you managed to walk back the fucking chicken wire
Yeah, no.
business.
Because you guys had to iron up.
Yeah.
Faye.
That's right. That's right.
And that's why we bought a pallet of sugar. or
Yeah.
something. I
Yeah,
ordered
we
a
bought
pallet of
a
sugar
pallet
from
of
Costco.
sugar, and
Yeah.
we had like a bunch of rolls of
Yes.
chicken wire.
Well, I
Yeah,
thought
we were
the
weird.
sugar was
And
to
you guys
pay
made a bunch
those
of hockey
little
stick steaks.
brownies.
Yeah,
that,
hockey
Oh yeah, no,
steaks.
because
Hockey, yeah.
JC
Our hockey
gave us an
steaks.
army of
Yeah.
brownies / rock
Yeah.
fae,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
that was to pay them. And
Yeah, her
Yeah.
little rock
Yeah.
fan in the back.
That's right. We got iron chicken wire, and then Max kept that in the trunk of his Oldsmobile Cutlass.
Did we ever actually use it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
we
think
made,
so.
Oh.
We made a
I'm pretty sure I never used
we made
my
a
hostage
perimeter.
face,
I want
though.
to say.
Yeah, I think we made something. But all right,
Yeah.
say goodnight, internet.
Good night, Internet.
Oh, wait, we're still recording. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's